hunger, you've got desire, you've got the look in your eyes. You're on a mission, burning ambition. You've got your eyes on the prize. You've gotta rise to the challenge. Show 'em what you got. Step up and take what's yours. You are kings now. Clash of Titans.
That's the new version.
Whoa!
Doing the Misfits. Whoa!
Yeah, that's what they do when they play it live.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
They had those in. We are here, Turn Attack Podcast. Really fun show here for you today. So, based off some feedback I got, people want us to talk a little more about what happens during the week of wrestling. So we were kind of trying to skip over it and saying, like, if you watched it, go watch it. But we'll do like a quick drive, like a drive-by preview. It'll be really quick.
You don't have to be in depth about it.
Yeah, we'll do a Roman Reigns drive-by.
No.
If something interesting
Public
happens,
Enemy drive-by.
we'll go over it. You know, something cool happens or something.
Yeah. Well, that's what we did anyways. If something insane happened, like some things that happened this week, we'll talk about them. But we'll do like a quick overview. We're going to start the show off with some PPW because we will be there this Saturday. So at PPW Countdown. So if
Holy
you guys want to
Academy, Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
So if you guys want to come hang out with us, we will be there. Andy's pulling double duties that night.
Yeah.
So
Got a double shot.
So is the Sambo show.
Yeah. So Sambo show. We do have pins. Sorry, man. But I don't know how we're gonna. I don't think we're gonna give them away at this show.
right.
So we're going to do something where if you see us and you want to do a fan interview, what we're going to try to do in between getting our content for PPW, me and Bryan are going to try to go around and do some fan interaction. What we want to hear from you guys is what you think of PPW, what you like, maybe what you don't like, what makes you keep coming back. You know,
who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite?
And why is it Andy Header?
And why is it Andy Header? Yeah. But we really want to get feedback on the promotion, and the promotion wants that too. They want to hear more of what the fans think.
Yeah.
So we're gonna definitely,
because if a lot of people like certain things, then do more of that.
Yeah.
Less of what you don't like.
And I think what we're gonna do is if you do an interview with us, we'll give you a pin instead of handing them out to everybody. So that's the way we'll do it, because PPW is selling pins too, and I don't want to step on toes, and I want them to sell their pins.
But I mean,
yeah.
You're taking our pin sale.
Yeah. It's not like you're selling the same exact pin.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
Oh, I am. I'm going to have knockoff PPW pins.
Yeah, we're going to be bootlegging them.
I got some pins.
When Tony's not looking, Brian's going to be like, fuck those TTP pins. Get a Murder My Dude pin.
Yeah.
I actually went through my bag and found 2 of them still.
Yeah, I have mine.
Yeah.
I have so many pins now. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna get one of the pin boards because
I still have 30, 40 Murder My Dude.
Really?
They just have them in bags. Yeah.
Yeah, hand them out.
Getting them around people walking down the street, like, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I want to murder you, Mike.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That's right.
We'll get a tag team to be named Murder My Dude.
Yeah.
There'd be 2 like the gimmicks, 2 dudes like were like detectives from the 40s. Like,
Yeah.
mustaches, like,
They're
like trying to solve crimes.
LA Noir.
Like a Sherlock Holmes tag
That'd be
team.
dope. That's like $1 million idea right there.
Yeah.
We'll get
That shit will
Simon
be on
Grimm.
AEW Dark in a week.
Yeah.
Young Bucks will be super kicking the shit out of them.
I'm going to be jumping blue and gold at high tension wrestling.
Yeah.
What are you guys here? We're here for murder.
My dude.
My dude. There's a good plug.
There we go.
We got it out of the way. Speaking of Murder My Dude, I think next week Jack is going to be joining us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so we'll have the full Murder My Dude and TTP team
There you go.
together in a family. It'll be beautiful. Yeah, so if you guys want to support what we're doing here, we do have all the links below to everything going on. You can check out the merch page and buy some cool merch, t-shirts, pins. Actually, no pins are not on there. T-shirts, hoodies,
If
tank
you order a
tops.
shirt, you'll send them a pin.
Yeah, we'll send you a pin. And if you do get a t-shirt, send us a picture of you with what you ordered, and we will put it on the website. We just had our first one in a while from Bangin' Beers. A guy went out and grabbed a hoodie, and I was really happy about it. So, yeah, so if you want one, go grab it and use offer code IWEP for free shipping. So there you go. All right, Bryan.
I wish that worked on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah,
That'd be wonderful. And NWA.
Yeah.
So another thing with PPW, we're going to be filming content, doing some cool stuff with the Wicked Turtle Productions team and Wicked Turtle Network. as well as the PA Pile Driver podcast. So it's going to be like a triple podcast team going up there, getting some content and working together and doing some fun stuff. And then we will still do our car ride home episode, which I know a lot of people enjoy. That does really, really well. So we'll be doing that. And also, the following weekend, we'll talk about it more on next show. We'll be going to the return of Outbreak Wrestling. So we'll be doing some stuff there, and a car ride home episode. Which actually, it's in Reading, so it's not
a little bit longer. It's
a little bit of a longer.
The Walmart in Temple, if you're familiar with that is.
Yeah. So it's not. So when they're in Hamburg, we got to like sit in the
about
parking lot.
25 minutes, 30 minutes.
You got to sit in the parking lot for 20 minutes.
We tried that with the last PPW show, but then there's all these cops.
Yeah, there was a cop, like a guy got pulled over, and he got surrounded by like 4 cops, and that's all we talked about. And then I went down a one-way street.
Oh, yeah, and it's very around that building.
It was fun. So, Bryan, PPW show. What do you got?
One of the big things they have going on this week will be a tournament, the beginning of a tournament to determine the number 1 contender for the PPW TV title. The TV champ, Johnny Moran, not on this show, but we do have 2 4-way matches where the 2 winners will face off on the next show, with the winner getting Johnny Moran.
In April, then, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
At Super Show.
As I can do my math.
There
do
we
some
go.
Howard math.
February, March,
April.
April.
Is 1. February 2.
So the first of the 4 ways, Nola Catano. You know him well, Andy. I know you wrestled him a couple months ago.
He got a W over you.
Yeah, he did. Son of a bitch.
And then Andy Hedder's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Yeah.
And he saw the light after that.
Yeah.
He'll be up against Chris Banks, the no good Chris Banks, who eliminated Andy in the Resolution Rumble.
Why am I connected to all these people?
And Matt Takia is also in there.
I wrestled also for everywhere in the
You
show.
beat Matt Takia, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we like him then.
The son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And Fox
bastard
Vineyard.
fucking
Speaking
prick.
of people we know.
Yeah, another guy.
You lost the Fox as well.
Yeah.
So-
And he's been on the shows.
Yeah.
There we go. And then the second one is Isaac Rule, who is the No Limits champion.
Yeah, the No Limits, which I have no connection to him. I have not wrestled him.
What exactly is a No Limits title? Like you could.
I think it was supposed. Well, originally it was supposed to be a multi-man, like 4 ways and 3 ways, and I think they got away from that, and it's kind of the X division, but not really. So that's their titles need a little focus in what they really are.
Right.
Yeah, Isaac Rule, everybody calls him Baby Braun. He looks like a slightly smaller. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's
slightly
a big dude.
smaller Braun
Yeah.
Strowman.
He's smaller in height.
Height, yeah.
But he's
built like a
he's
he's
probably
wide.
just as
like a
wide.
tank, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a, and not wide as in like
He's probably about
he's
6 foot, somewhere around there.
He's got some broad.
Yeah, we're making him
shoulders.
sound short. But yeah,
Yeah.
He's shorter than Braun Strowman, but he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's not like he's 4'3" and he's a brick shit house. No, he's a big dude, but he's compared to Braun, he's a little shorter.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And
Compared to Braun, everybody is a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
That dude's a fucking giant.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Jesus.
And he will be taking on Andy Hedder,
Yes.
our very own Andy Hedder,
I'm in the match. How about that?
and Rembrandt, who
Yeah.
we've covered quite a bit
Yeah.
here. And
I didn't wrestle yet. And the 4th guy, I do not know this guy. Not familiar.
making his return to PPW, Vinny Pacifico, formerly of Ring of Honor trainee.
Really? Wow.
Future of Honor, yeah.
Huh.
Maybe Drew knows him then. I don't know.
The
I'm not familiar. I said
Rembrandt
the
had a
Paul.
really funny post
Yeah.
saying Andy Hedder liked my post about I'm going to win, so that takes me to 66 and 3 curl.
He did a Scott Steiner math.
Yeah, he did 66 and 3/4 chance of winning this match, which is fantastic.
And then
Yeah,
Vinny
'cause
Pacifico knows he can't beat him, so that even ups it more.
Yeah. And then he goes up by 50% because he's just that tough because he smashes shins off
Yeah.
the guardrail.
Yeah, my God. Jeez.
The man with the unbreakable shins,
Yeah.
Rembrandt.
I would wear like some gimmicky shin protector.
shin
like,
guards.
what's his
Greg
name?
the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like he
He can turn it around and throw
Like
the
I would have
finger.
one catcher thing on. You
Yeah.
know, like a catcher.
That's
just-
one dude, yo, that I can never get into is Greg the Hammer.
I never either.
He just looks like a gym teacher.
He does.
He looks like, but like a woman gym teacher, like
Yeah.
the ugly woman gym teacher you would have. It looks like Greg the Hammer.
him and
Like a
I don't know
lunch
if
lady.
it's
Yes.
It's one of the old pay-per-views. He wrestles Ronnie Garber. I'm like, I do not care about this match.
It's
at
an old
all.
Royal
Yeah.
Rumble. It was a submission match.
And they're like hitting each other hard. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It was a
Not there.
submission match, and like it was one of the first time. I think it might have been the first time, like on a big show like that, the WWF ever did an I Quit match, and they kept going for pins. Like I understand doing it once, like oh they forgot it, but they kept going back to it, like oh he's going for a pin.
If you're
in
like
an
the
I Quit
heel
match.
and you're the goofball, oh, he's going for a pin. Okay, but yeah,
Imagine how much you would get fucking clown if you did that right now.
yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? People are like,
fired.
these fucking idiots.
Fox does it every Rumble.
Does he?
Yeah, Fox. Yeah, he goes for a pin every Rumble.
Really? I didn't notice.
It's hilarious. Yeah,
Our truth
he's
does
done it
some
2
shit
years
like
in a
that,
row.
too.
So.
That's awesome. And then outside of the tournament, tag team action. The Titan Outlaws, Bo Nakota and Bull Hightower, they're going to be taking on Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers. Our celebrity guests.
I didn't
this
know they
month
still
for
wrestle.
PPW.
To be honest,
I'm pretty excited about it.
I wonder how they look and then how they wrestle yet.
Yeah. It is pretty cool to see, like, get that close up of them backstage.
Yeah.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about them losing their hair because they're already
they're already
bald.
bald. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, maybe they're fat, but I don't.
Do you think they go full face paint or just like the
Well,
eye?
I just don't think they never really.
Because
That's how they,
Thrasher did a full white face one time, like
they
white
changed
with blue.
it near the end.
That was like the DTK thing they were going to do. Yeah,
But then they just had
DT
they're just kind of the black things probably.
What shirt do you think they wear? 'Cause they used to wear like South Park
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson shirts.
Yeah,
I would say Marilyn Manson. That's not bad. Maybe some random,
or some or their own merch or something, like a Headbanger shirt.
Or unless they're totally out of it, they're just lazy. They just go to Hot Topic and buy two random looking metal shirts.
like what band is this?
'Cause they
All
always-
Elite. That's not a band.
They struck me as two guys that didn't know anything about metal at all.
They come out in punk disco shirts. People are like, what the fuck?
Oh, this is metal, right?
That's pop.
Come out with like a Steel Panther shirt on.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's
No, that'd be dope. I would cheer for that.
That's a band or a band.
Give him a Crowbar shirt.
Yeah, we gotta give us
a
a
team you
Crowbar.
don't see very much. They probably would wear it.
Yeah.
I've wrestled Titan Outlaws too, so let's keep track of who I've wrestled on the show.
Then we have another tag match, the Punk Rock All Stars.
No,
Ooh.
that's I never wrestled them.
And then step to the side, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, the new best friends.
Yeah.
Evander James and Charles Banks.
If
are
they
gonna
don't
be their
hug,
opponents.
We just watched their
booing.
promo, so watch that promo.
Yeah, if you want to see a really funny promo,
I'm
go
sure they
check
both
that
shared
out.
it.
It's shared on our page as well. They become best friends. You know, Charles is he's doing it. He has a new turn here. He's trying to be good. He's trying to show the PPW Nation, and they're kind of behind. They're really behind him.
Yeah,
he got a big pop both times he came out. And I hated it at first. I was like, man. When is he just going to be a scumbag? When is he going to
still
turn?
not 100% sold because I know how good of a heel he is.
Yeah.
But
this babyface run is fantastic.
and it was fun to see some more personality out of Evander too. Like 'cause he's such a straight laced.
Well, Evander, our first PPW show, he turned heel.
Oh, okay.
No, was he? Did he turn?
I
heel?
thought I could trust him.
Well, he was heel for like a quick minute. I think.
forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was the champ, and they lost it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So it's interesting. It's fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was a good promo. I want more of that. More promos. I want more guys to just do more promos. It's just good.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
especially when they're good. No, if
Yeah.
they're bad, don't do it.
Yeah.
Get a manager.
What else we got?
Get a manager.
We have get MVP. He can be.
Yeah.
We have a grudge match next. Sebastian Cage and Casey Navarro. When we last saw these two in PPW, they were friends until Sebastian Cage cost Casey Navarro the title match against Clutch Adams.
Don't trust him. He's wearing a Superman shirt. So I said as soon as he came out, so you can't trust a guy wearing Superman.
Mm-hmm. And they'll be facing off title implications, I would say, too.
Yeah.
Maybe whoever wins that is right back in the hunt of it.
Yeah. How about it?
And then we have a mixed tag
Sebastian
match,
Cage,
too.
by the way.
What's that?
I wrestled Sebastian Cage.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
release everybody, at least one person every match so far.
Now we have the Neon Blondes, Facade and Danny Moe. I know you've wrestled Facade. Against Deshaun Pratt and Christina Marie.
Kind of Christina, yeah, kind of.
You had a mixed tag.
yeah.
Next tag.
So
That should be a lot of fun.
that should be a good match. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Because it'd be fun to see if they actually let Christina loose a little bit with Facade. Because
Yeah,
I feel like
that'd be
she
interesting.
can definitely pull the trigger more in matches, but she is a little held back. But I think she's one of the people that I think works really well with other male superstars, like other males.
with males.
Yeah, with males. I think she does
With other males.
With other males,
With other
Ooh,
males.
hey,
With-
now,
with
let's
males,
not say-
with males, not other males.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not going to assume gender, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I believe Christina Marie's a woman.
but she does really well wrestling with guys.
I bet she does.
Hey, that's how most girls learn because
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
there is only one or two girls in the training center. They
Adina,
wrestle each other all the time.
I mean,
yeah.
Adina, her and Adina work really well together. Even Adina is really good working with males.
Wait, she was the only girl for a long time. Then they
Yeah.
got one other girl.
Yep.
Yeah, like Andy said, it's you were training with only guys, so you don't really get
Yeah,
a,
you kind of have to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, with Danny Moe, I know she's kind of new to actually being in the ring in matches and kind of stepping out of that manager role.
This is a good spot for her to get in there
Yeah.
and learn.
Yeah.
Christina's as rock solid as it gets, and then so is Deshaun Pratt. Like if they wind up with a little bit of time together, then
Is it a
That's a
straight
great-
up intergender match? Can the men? Obviously the men.
I don't know.
I know usually
Adina Steele got lumped up by the dudes last time they had an intergender match.
Yeah, their anniversary show, they kind of had Adina be in the Ricky Morton role, building to a hot tag.
Because what they should do for this match, if I was the booker, they should really beat down Danny and really have the hot tag for Facade.
Yeah, and then when he comes in, that's cool.
That's probably what they'll do.
Yeah, because right now for PPW, Facade he might as well be Hulk Hogan or Steve Austin.
He's red hot.
Yeah.
Red hot. But yeah, going back to the working with male talents with the female, a lot of people know. I guess Christina has earned her stripes in that company as she is tough, and if you go in there and you try to like baby her as a female wrestler,
you can't do that.
She'll I think she'll lay one on you, like actually fucking work. You know what I mean? And I think Adina's starting to get there with other male talent too, where they're like they start like they pull. This is all behind curtain a little bit, but they pull a little bit quicker than they should. And she even said in her interview, she's like, I hate that. Like, no, actually work me. Like, don't.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy. You're the one that would know. If you kind of go half speed like that, that's how people get hurt a lot, right?
I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would go pick her up, not just fucking slam her.
Yeah, drop her on her head.
Yeah, that's what she's trained for.
Yeah, it's so I Christina definitely. I think that's why I think she works so well with the male talents is because they know like. If you don't, she'll probably give you one. Yeah. She'll give it to you just as back harder,
right?
And so, like, okay, you work her the same way you work somebody else. That's what they want.
Yeah.
She belongs there.
That's what I've done.
As much as anybody else.
A few times. I've only wrestled a few girls so far, but I mean,
do you go full out?
Yeah, just treat them like that.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it.
I would go the Chris Jericho route and just stiff everybody.
Yeah,
screw you, bitch.
I wouldn't stiff Christina because she'd probably kill you. She put a picture on her Facebook today of her like smiling, and I was like, I've never seen that because she's just such a great heel. She just like you walk up to her, you're like, oh god, I'm running.
Yeah, she always has like the bitch face.
She's fantastic at being a heel. Next match.
Then we have our two final matches here, are both title matches. The tag title is on the line. South Philly's Finest apparently suspended for their conduct with the fans.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hearing on the street, that they're not going to be at the show.
Yeah,
because some misconduct with fans during their
gross misconduct.
Gross misconduct. Oh yeah, gross. Sorry, I left that really wide open.
There was no sexual misconduct.
No,
they literally went outside and they just sexually assaulted everybody.
They
fish hooked them
left and right.
No, they got in a little bit of altercation with the fans, so
knocked people's hats off, and
ripping signs up. Who knows what else they did? But
so they're going to be taking the month off. But we do have a match you've been clamoring for a while, Tony.
Yeah.
Sambo Show getting the title shot against Main Event.
I'm conflicted. I'm very conflicted. Titles. All right, so I love Main Event. I'm wearing the shirt right now.
Is Sambo Show? Are they heels now?
No,
I don't think so. This is a babyface.
I don't think so. Yeah.
They're just as red hot.
So they could do the whole handshake thing.
Yeah, because they were teaming Billy Gunn last month.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah,
so
don't you one up me.
Yeah, here's my conflict to this. These are two tag teams that are blazing hot. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to talk about as hot as Facade when it comes to the single side of things. Sambo Show gets the crowd popped every single time they come out. They work the crowd. The crowd absolutely loves them. Same with Main Event. Sambo Show may even have a slight edge when it comes to fan favorite, I can say. But they also, and this is not saying that Main Event doesn't either, because they're at their merge table and doing stuff, but like the Sambo Show really, really work with the crowd, especially after they're done. And I think that does help with the PPW fan base. But that being said, we're going back to storylines here. Main Event is not. I'm not saying they're looking through Sambo Show, but they really, really want their hands on South Philly's Finest, and they know if they lose that belt, it's not going to happen. So I really I want to see them get that revenge and get them to get that match. So for how much I really want the Sambo Show to get a shot here, I just think right now is probably not their time. I think Main Event is too focused on getting that rivalry out of the way, and I think they're really focused on getting their hands on South Philly's Finest. That I think Sambo Show, they're going to be a little too much for Sambo Show that night.
That match is going to be a lot of fun too. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be
they might see a new side of Main Event because now it's a little more serious. Now.
Yeah, they got to if they want to get there, they got to kind of visualize Sambo Show as South Philly and kind of get in there and get dirty, because if they don't, Sambo Show will steal that belt quicker than.
It's probably gonna be the second to last match.
I'm pinning that as match of the night.
You might be right on that.
Yeah,
you might be right on that. And then the main event for the PPW heavyweight title, the champ Clutch Adams defending against Bro Keller.
Yeah, another match where, man, you really want Bro to go, but I
don't see him.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't see it.
But
Facade's the next champ.
But they're working.
You would think
he's sneaking by every week. He's sneaking by, and he's
skin of his teeth every time.
Skin of his teeth. Now, the only thing that may be up in the air, I don't know if that cash-in officially counted.
I don't know either.
So
I don't know. They don't say.
Deshaun can still possibly cash that in.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Facade finally gets the title, and then here comes. Oh, they might have a riot in Hazel.
That'd be like Daniel Bryan, and then Randy Orton came out.
They dragged it out way too long.
Yeah,
they could have.
Now here's a question. As we're talking as fans now, and not talking about maybe backstage stuff. You've seen Facade and Adams a few times now. Would you want to see it? If Deshaun cashed in on Adams that night, wins the title, and goes to Super Show against Facade for the belt, because Facade's still #1 contender? Which match are your preference in there?
I think the way you've told the story so far, it's got to be Facade taking it off a Clutch.
It's got to be Clutch. It's the only storyline sense that it makmakes.
Yeah.
Especially with the way they had the finish on this last match, I think you have to do that.
Would the wild match be Deshaun and Facade? Yeah.
Because there's also that angle of the story, too, where he thought he won the Rumble. And he got drop kicked in the back by Facade. So every single time he's been a hair close, and Deshaun's been getting it.
You never know. Maybe that's what will happen.
He almost cashed in, and he gets thrown out of the ring before he can by Facade. So it's always he's right. He's nipping on the heels. He's definitely a part of that storyline.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like how you said, maybe he finally wins, and Deshaun, that's the night he cashes. So
listen, I mean, that's a good way to draw heat.
Yeah.
I think away.
I think if you really push Deshaun,
you get the fans' hopes up. They're like, "Oh, he finally did it." Then he right away gets the belt taken off him. As long as you don't do what WWE, what they did with Daniel Bryan. The issue wasn't that Randy Orton cashed in right away. That was perfect. The issue was the next month they put the title back on Bryan. It's like, that's too quick. And then they had him drop it the next month. It's like, dude, you're fucking playing ping pong with the belt.
You can't
do that.
Too much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It would be really. It'd be fun to see Deshaun with the belt, just to see him really work that heel side. I think it'd be hilarious. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing.
He's fantastic.
He could be like your ace of PPW.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. We have anything else there?
No, that's it.
That's it for PPW. We have Backbreakers, though, too.
Sure, let's talk Backbreakers.
Backbreakers, we have an 8-man tag. It's it's the Funk and Diamond City War Machines taking on Blue and Gold.
Blue and Gold, baby.
The Funk is Trajan Horn and AJ Evers, and then Diamond City War Machines is Brad, who called in before, Bruno De Mayo, and Eric.
Nice.
And Blue and Gold is Andy Header.
Yeah, we're in there. And the Sambo Show.
And the Stepdads.
No, the Sambo. What am I thinking? Yeah,
Stepdads.
Good match. Yeah, Stepdads. Stepdads are good. You haven't seen them yet, have you?
Is Stepdads one of the members in the PPW Tex team? Because they
never wrestled there.
They still sent Stepdad shirts at PPW. I thought the one guy was there. I don't know, unless I'm looking at the
I've seen fans with them, but I don't think they sell them there.
I know.
And then,
I think that's what it was.
The SOD is taking on the Sambo Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The SOD is two of the guys that trained at Backbreakers. I forget.
There's no matches announced yet, but you and Sambo Show and Blue and Gold, the only ones really talked about so far for High Tension.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys will square off a little bit.
Yeah. That's why two tag teams announced. So.
Yeah. That roster looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that show. I'm excited for High Tension.
That should be pretty good, yeah.
It'll be
just announced Dame.
Dame's coming in,
Big fan of Dame.
And then Alpha Junior's coming in.
Yeah.
And then big announcement on our side. Bryan's going to be commentary.
Who? Oh, no.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I only have a couple of months here to make fun of Morrow before I get put in the hot seat.
And then if I hear you make one goddamn pop culture reference, I'm going to flip. I'm like, you goddamn traitor.
Oh, my God.
You got to do them rap references. Which go all over my head because I don't know anything about rap. So I'm just like, what's he talking about?
Is gin and juicing it up or something silly. Actually, they didn't announce the pre-post show thing yet.
Andy Header setting a tone look with his funky cold Medina.
Yeah, there you go. See, you got it.
There you go. It hurt his heart to do that. He literally looked down at the ground like, I can't believe I stooped that low.
Fighting for us right to party here tonight.
They didn't announce the pre and post show thing yet, but I'm still part of it. So if you think, oh my God, Andy's not there, and Bryan is no longer there, I'm still doing pre and post show, but they didn't announce who I'm going to be doing it with yet. So stay tuned for more updates on that.
Sean Mooney.
Yeah, Sean Mooney. We're bringing Sean Mooney in.
Yeah.
Oh, we're switching if that happens. I'll work with Mooney.
Yeah.
That's a dream come true.
All right, backbreakers.
David Marquez. We got David Crockett.
Look at him. I'll just drop a few David Crockett lines in one commentary. Tommy One Shot is going to be taking on another former Andy Header opponent, El Fenomeno Tormenta.
Yeah. Who was Tommy One?
Tommy One Shot.
I believe that's what's Tommy Vex. I'm not. Oh, I forget. I have to look. Don't quote me on that one.
And then we have Showtime Shane Black, who will be wrestling Trip.
Returning. He's been wrestling for years. I seen him wrestle at when Alpha had his fed at Hazleton.
WXW?
Yeah, WXW years ago.
Not the European WXW.
Yeah, and his name was Kale, and he was like an Undertaker type guy.
And then Trip is... we saw Trip at the Resolution Rumble.
Yeah.
We actually got to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah,
very cool mustache
dark circus guy.
Yeah.
He's actually really cool with... what's his name that just kind of came back in the wrestling scene? Draven.
Okay.
Yeah. Him, they're buddies. Actually, Trip is really cool, man. He's really...
David's very cool with us.
Really nice guy to talk to. I actually want to have him call in or something soon.
Then for the Backbreakers Cruiserweight title, it's Squid Sterling, who was also in the Rumble, against Dante Dio, the defending champion. And then we also have Tucker Riley against Alexander Bateman.
Two big guys going at it.
We have Rex Taylor and Kit Raff going up against each other, and then for the
didn't we mess up Kit's name?
Yeah.
He could call us out on it.
Auto-corrected. Kid Staff.
Kid Staff, yeah. And then for the Backbreakers Heavyweight title, Harzang against the new champion Ken Andrews.
Oh, okay.
That should be a good show up there too, and then you should get a good crowd up there.
I got to get up there soon.
It's a nice building too. It's like there's like a bar and there's like a loft, and it's in like the loft / where you would have a like wedding reception kind of small one. Cool. It's nice.
Cool. All right, we're going to talk about what happened last Friday on SmackDown in one moment, but first we're going to talk about a little bit of news.
First these words.
These are our sponsors.
Edit commercial.
I wish these were our sponsors. Pro Wrestling Scorecards are up right now for NXT TakeOver. We will cover the card a little. Portland, TakeOver Portland. We will talk about that later on in the show, but if you want to play along and get your Pro Wrestling Scorecard, get it now.
Big change, too. 6 matches now instead of the traditional 5. For
and it's moved from a Saturday to a Sunday.
Maybe it'll be like 3 hours then.
Yeah.
I would think so.
We are having a contest right on our Facebook page, a Valentine's Day contest. We put up a Undisputed Era Valentine. And then if you put your Valentine up and it gets the most reactions or likes, the only one who's not eligible is Tyler. Tyler put a few good ones up, but he's part of the show. He can't win. He can't win the prize. But we will crown a winner, and it's still up in the air what the prize is going to be yet. So we'll probably announce that. Maybe Monday after Valentine's Day, we'll announce it next show who won that. I can tell you this way: it's going to be a sticker for the most part. It's going to be a sticker, maybe a shirt. Maybe we'll figure something out. So whoever wins that contest, and you can tag your friends and play along. Tag them, and be like, "Hey, vote for me," and then they can like our page and gimmicky stuff. Then we have the Retro Stop Studios.
Big news there.
Announced Jeff Cobb, which is going to be a bigger story later on if you haven't watched yet.
Talk about striking while the iron is hot.
Yeah, they
did just that.
And then the other thing I just want to brief over real quick. I want to not brief over this one. The Rock's daughter Simone Johnson signs the NXT Performance Center.
I thought you said Samoan Johnson. Like,
Simone Johnson.
She was part Simone.
Like
Simone, right?
Simone Johnson.
She's part Samoan.
Yeah, but her name is Simone.
Yeah, Simone. That should be her name.
Simone Johnson.
4th generation she'll be. Obviously,
that's great.
Everyone knows why she got signed.
Maybe she's good.
Well, she's not even trained yet.
Yeah.
So she has to at least know a little bit, right? Like,
you would hope. But she might not know how it works.
Charlotte was just an athlete who just I can convert over.
Yeah,
maybe she's someone who's like Paige, who her whole life has been
just because
behind the scenes doing shit.
Just because your mom or dad was a great wrestler doesn't make you a great wrestler.
David Flair.
Yes.
Yeah.
David Sammartino.
Yeah.
David. Her name's not David Johnson, so maybe she's good.
Yeah.
The only thing I say is her first match, she has to come out with terrible hair and be Samoa Maia Vieira.
Oh my god! They got gotta have her just be like
corny her first.
No, she has to name like Charlotte. Like she needs a totally different name. She can't be Simone Johnson.
Yeah, she's gonna be something completely
The
different.
Stone.
Yeah.
No, the worst I heard was Pebble or Pebbles.
Yeah, it'd be Pebbles. Yeah,
she could be like Jewel or something. Or like give her like a
Diamond,
Ruby, Sapphire, or something like that. I guess can Ruby, but something like that.
Just completely
Crystal?
go for Tezza.
Yeah,
be Diamond. Just
yeah,
put a big diamond.
Topaz.
There you go. Charcoal.
Hey,
no.
who knows?
Oh yeah.
She does look a lot like the Rock in the Face one.
She does. Yeah. Do you think she'll do an eyebrow?
I think she kind of looks
She
like.
has to.
I think she kind of looks like her grandmother. I think she looks like Ada Maivia or Ada Johnson.
I don't see it, but I do see
Onomatopoeia.
The Rock a lot.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Rock. So, we'll
that's
see.
pretty cool. Let's see what the future holds.
Yeah.
Do we get the Rock versus the Flair? Do we get Rock versus?
Yeah,
I can see like a mixed tag match happen at some point.
There's
down
a lot
the
of
line.
cool stuff there. And then it's not
Too
wrestling
bad
news.
Stone Cold does have a daughter.
Yeah, that he knows of.
Yeah.
Not wrestling news, but we're just going to talk about it because it is owned by Vince McMahon. The XFL happened.
The World Bodybuilding Federation.
Yeah, XFL.
Look at those striations.
What do we think?
It was fun.
entertaining.
Yeah.
I have no comment.
Tony just wants to talk because DC has a good football team finally.
Yeah, we finally got
one.
one.
Most about
Again, it was one game. Let's calm down.
We got one. We got a team, boys. We put up 30 points. It doesn't happen very often in DC. Let me enjoy it. A pick six. It doesn't. Listen.
A critical fumble recovery by former Philadelphia Eagle Elijah Qualls.
After a punt block.
There was that was like a goal line stand, I think.
Well, they had a punt block touchdown too.
Oh wow, did they?
Yeah, their defense scored like 3 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm interested to see because I think the two teams that everyone's going to be looking at that are probably going to be front runners are in the same division, but it's going to be New York and DC, and they're playing each other this week.
Everybody seemed to think Dallas would be really good, but then they got beat by St. Louis. Like I kind of adopted St. Louis as my team. If you put a wing on your helmet, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And they did. So
they said 2 more teams will be announced for next year.
Oh, wow.
How many do they have?
8.
They have 8.
Oh, okay.
They should try to do like at least 4 more teams. I would try to pull for. I guess it depends how the ratings are, but
it's the if it looks like they're going to get a TV deal and it's going to stick around.
Well, the ratings did well for the first week, right?
Yeah, they did very well.
Might be curiosity.
They beat the NBA. They beat a lot of.
They did have some fumbles. No pun intended. Guy dropped a MFer on TV.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
Anything, right?
But
that happens in NFL all the time.
The changes that people were kind of skeptical about. I think a lot of people go now when NFL starts back up. I think they're going to be babied by this, and I think they're going to be like, "Man, I think I like this better with this new football division." I think the kickoffs are more fun.
I don't think the NFL's in any danger, but
they're not. No. But I think there is some rules to the game.
Yeah,
I think people seeing the transparency and
that was great.
Replays.
I love the whole video referee thing too.
Yeah,
where they have it. They had that in the league that was around last year too. The Alliance of American Football. They had a thing called the Sky Judge. It was basically a video official that's not on the field. It's like, nope, you got that wrong. Fix it. And I like that. I like that a lot.
Hearing play calls before they go out is cool.
I think the NFL is going to not want that because of the prospect of cheating.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I was surprised
they even said some of the coaches were like, we didn't know like we were going to be like that on air going over our plays. Like they said we'd be there for a couple plays, and it was like every play they were announcing. Like
they showed somebody. I think it might have been the coach for Seattle or one of the coaches. He's covering his mouth, like because a lot of coaches do it. They cover the mouth so like somebody on the other sideline can't read their lips while they're calling a play in,
and they're like,
yeah, you're mic'd.
Yeah. Commentary. I mean, interviewers on the field and sidelines pulling players right after plays is fun.
It's hilarious. Like somebody will fucking fumble and they're like, "How you feel about fumbling that ball?" It's like
bad. I feel
like,
bad.
Get the fuck away from me.
I like that though. I think it's funny.
And there's always things that these little leagues that can get barred, like the 3-point shot came from the ABA.
Awesome. So awesome.
And even now, the first XFL, the one that was around in 2001. The sky cam that they use in the NFL now, where it's on a line behind the quarterback, that started in the XFL.
Yeah, so they have a rule now. It's that when you score a touchdown, you have to kick it for 1 point, or you can try to.
Andy doesn't care,
right?
I don't know anything.
So they got rid of
football.
that.
Well, I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I don't know the rules at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I thought maybe.
I know what a 3-year-old knows about football. I know I hate it.
Yeah,
but that's about it. I don't know how it works at all.
It's fun. It's a great league. I'm having a good time with it. I like how it's small things too. Like, I like how the ball is different for each player, for each team.
Yeah, they have like their different color ball.
I think that's cool. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that they can do to market that.
One thing I thought I noticed, and maybe I was wrong, in one of the stadiums, I think it might have been the second game on Saturday. I think it was whoever it was. When the visiting team, the road team, was on third down, I think they were playing the Undertaker's gong. Like,
oh, really?
When it was like, okay, if they don't get this play, they have to get rid of the ball.
Yeah,
I think they were playing the Undertaker's gong.
It's a good time, man. It's a real good time. I'm excited for next week and see more. It's getting it's getting well received.
Yeah, ratings are doing well.
Yeah.
And maybe it keeps Vince away from the wrestling a little bit.
Well, that's kind of what's been happening. Vince has not been around. That's another report going out that Vince has not been around more. And I think he's happy with the first week. If the second week does well, and the third week, and this may be the time where Vince says, you know what, I think this is something we're gonna.
And you can kind of see Paul Heyman's fingerprints on Raw. Well, we've been seeing that for months now.
Yeah.
And I think it's been for the better. And you can kind of see Bruce Pritchard's fingerprints on SmackDown, for better or worse.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. So we'll jump right into SmackDown here. The show started with the Dirt Sheet, which is another talk show. We need more of those.
The Dirt Sheet was great.
Yeah,
on what was a WWE.com
Really?
show.
It was even good on Friday. They made fun of. They did a parody of that Brad Pitt Leonardo movie. What the hell is it called?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes, yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh yeah. That wasn't terrible.
Dude, when they do parodies like that, it just goes over my head because I don't know what they're like.
And then we had the Usos versus Ziggler and Rude.
I'm so sick of this matchup, dude. They literally 3 weeks in a row they wrestled 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's usually what they do. With
That's
tag
why
teams.
everyone doesn't have to be on every week.
Nope.
Yeah.
Especially a 2-hour show. You have
and when you
enough
have
people to go
400
around.
people on the roster,
And they've opened the last 3 weeks too with the same exact match. Like, what the hell?
and Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler to me, they're just two dead characters. They just come out and it's like, oh, fast forward.
Yep.
I don't want to see them at all.
Then we had Elias versus Cesaro.
Yeah, Elias is like feuding with Sami Zayn, and Cesaro's just a muscle for Sami. Because, like, God forbid Sami can wrestle himself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
Is he hurt or he just doesn't?
No, they just
Vince
literally
doesn't like
don't.
him.
They should just have Sami Zayn and Cesaro
But
wrestle, just have Elias
You
stand
see that
there.
stuff about how Vince doesn't like Cedric Alexander. He thinks he's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what a shame. Then fire him.
Yeah.
Let him go somewhere where he can wrestle.
Roman Reigns and King Corbin set up a rematch, and then
Ugh.
Goldberg answers who's next.
Ugh.
So
Who's out there asking for a Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin match?
nobody.
Yeah.
Let the
I
whole-
am pal.
As long as they leave this goddamn feud in Saudi, I don't care.
Yeah.
But, like, this has to be it. Please, God.
Yeah.
They're both good. They're both people that I want to continue working, just not with each other anymore. Just move on. And then Goldberg gets challenged by the Fiend.
In a pre-recorded segment in its garage.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. So you're gonna fight the Fiend versus Goldberg at Saudi Arabia.
I don't want to see
I'm not against it long as the Fiend wins.
Well, speaking of that, we were talking off camera. The fans, talking to you, looking at you, stop fucking playing into this shit, because guess what? They seen that everyone was clamoring over, oh my God, is Goldberg. So guess what? Psychopaths like Vince sees this and goes, well, maybe goddamn we should put the belt on him.
I don't think they're putting a belt on Goldberg.
Well, if they do, I'm blaming all of you.
You never know. I hope not, but maybe.
Because think, is it really out of this world to think that could be Goldberg and Roman at Mania? Like, that's not out of this world.
No,
that
it's
could
not.
very easily
it's
happen.
not something crazy.
Oh, I always did want to know what Vince sounded like with a Schuylkill County accent, so I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Put the belt on him, bud.
Oh, God.
Then we had Daniel Bryan versus Heath Slater.
Very just random thrown together match because Slater was in the back, like, freaking ribbon.
Was it a good match or was it squash?
It was squash, and then Daniel held on to his finisher for like 5-10 seconds longer. Yeah, so I was like, Shinsuke
Nakamura ruins Braun Strowman's champion celebration.
Once again, the revival for no reason just helped Sami Zayn's group beat up. Like, it's like they're everybody's lackeys. Like, whoever needs like a extra pair of hands, we're like, well, we're fucking doing it.
They had something with him with them and Randy Orton. And
Yeah,
just dropped
Yep.
it.
Sami Zayn gonna be the new GM of SmackDown soon.
I do like his little stable. I do like him, Nakamura, and Cesaro together because like 3 guys who can actually go. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool.
Don't get used.
Yeah, they don't just unfortunately get used, but
Sheamus versus Apollo Crews.
that was a squash.
Was this watch?
Yeah.
I got an amp.
Poor Apollo Crews.
Yep.
Poor
And then Fatal 4-Way for the number 1 contenders match. We had Carmella, Naomi,
No more contenders for
Bliss and Dana Brooke.
Was it all right? I didn't see
Carmella wins.
It was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Carmella, I guess she's
I
a
was
good guy?
confused, and I thought that the winner of this, because they made it sound like the winner of this was going to face Bayley in Saudi Arabia, and I was like, okay. So then I was like, well, it's definitely not going to be Naomi, because she's not going to be able to fit her big ass in one of those like little things.
Yeah.
Neither's Bayley.
You know what I mean? So I was like, well, Bayley sure can get in there and just be tight, but Naomi has no chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bayley gives her a run. Bayley's got a dumper on her.
See them side
Naomi,
next to each other? No, that's not very close. So when Carmella won, I was like, all right. But they already said that match is going to be next week on SmackDown. So I was like, oh, well, what the fuck was the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing a women's match again.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, maybe they won't let them.
Yeah.
Too risque.
They showed arm.
Yeah.
So then we have Raw. We'll get the Raw. Starts off. I just lost my page.
Just stupid.
Start off
Hulu
with the
edited down the match
with the women's hell of a match for the women's.
Yeah, that's why I went to watch. I'm like, oh, you want to
Yep.
edit matches out completely?
Well, it didn't start with that.
All right.
Oh, it didn't.
It started.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
promo.
It started with
Yeah.
the promo.
I fast forwarded through it.
It was actually a pretty good promo.
I don't know. That's whiny voice just gets to me. I don't want to hear it.
Kevin Owens saved it.
It was an okay promo, but it's just like this same old kind of shit. Like I don't know. I don't see what because I'm pretty convinced that the end game is just going to be Rollins versus Owens at Mania.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what the hell everybody else is doing right now. Like, what are they just going to get left off in a week and like they're
probably,
just going to be in some battle royal or some shit?
The Andre Battle Royal.
Yeah, I'm with Andy. Like Rollins just seems like your aunt that smokes Pall Malls. Like that's all I hear when I hear him talk.
Yeah. All right, let me try to pull this back up here.
That set up the main event basically, which is what the
8-man tag.
The 8-man tag, yeah. Which wasn't a bad match, but
yeah, and then you had Becky.
Yeah, then it was Becky and Asuka, which was an incredible match. I loved it. That's probably my favorite match on any TV show.
I enjoyed it as much because right when they started chanting "This is awesome," I'm like, why are they chanting "This is awesome"? They're not really doing anything. I'm like, they edited 2 minutes out.
Yeah.
Then why edit the fucking match?
yeah, that's annoying.
First, I don't even understand why they edit the show at all. It's not like they're Hulu. We only have so much room on the Hulu servers. Mm-hmm. Just give us the whole show, but don't edit the match. Edit it out completely then.
Yeah.
So I had to go back and somehow watch it. Not edit.
You have my login. You
sign
can do
out
it.
and sign in.
And Becky wins. It was a good match. Becky wins, and at the end, Shayna Baszler comes out, throws a choke on, and then after she chokes her out, she moves her hair to the side and takes a bite out of the back of her neck.
The angle goes.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If she was biting people the whole time in NXT,
That's exactly what I said in the chat. Yeah.
it'd be fine.
Yeah.
She just bites someone out of the blue now? Okay. Vince looked at her.
Let's see what happens.
I feel like here's exactly what happened. Right? Like she was.
What if Batman bites someone in the neck in the movie? Are you going to say, let's see what happens? Or are you going to say, what the fuck is that?
I'm going to be like, why did Batman do that? I'm going to tune in and find out why he's doing this.
No, it's the same movie. It's the same movie.
Yeah.
You can also say that Batman punched a 3-year-old. It doesn't make it a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get some payoff in the end of the movie. It's like,
bro,
we fucking bit him for that reason. Like, no, it was just a bad shit.
Batman is going to bite Robin, bro.
He's a real bat.
So, all right. So when she came over the blood, I was like, wow, that's different. And then she walked away, and I was like, end it here. But they kept.
I thought they stuck with Becky way too long.
Camera on
Christ.
Becky. Jesus Christ! Did that bitch bite me? Did that bitch bite me? Did that bitch bite me?
Okay, enough.
Then she kept playing with it more and more and more and diluting the fake blood.
Yeah, and it was like.
And there was way too much blood in Shayna's mouth. It looked like somebody, like it looked disgusting. Like it looked like she got headbutted in the face and her teeth were like, there was so much blood.
So then, just from being a horror movie fan, when Becky was backstage and her hands were covered in blood, you could tell it wasn't real blood.
Because it was stained.
It was so not real blood because they stuck with it too long. They ruined the illusion of it, which I think dilutes the bite a little more. And then she just jumps in an ambulance and drives away.
Yeah.
Then she beats up the ambulance driver and then takes it.
And like I said,
but then comes back.
Where does she know where to go? She doesn't have her phone. Maybe the ambulance has a GPS, but is she going to the right hospital?
But even if she does, let's say she goes to the hospital. Like, does she think that she's just going to pull in and she'd be like, she's going to get out and be like, I took this ambulance. I need it. They're going to be like, you're going to go to jail now because you stole the ambulance. Like,
yeah. All right. So I think that aspect is worse than the bite to me.
The bite's dumb though. Like
the bite is dumb.
I think the bite's worse because like Stone Cold would have did the same shit and it still would have been stupid. But like at least Stone Cold's known for stealing some shit.
Yeah.
Becky now just like, oh, I'm the fucking female Stone Cold. It's like no.
Yeah. I the bite I can pass just because I can be like, well, what are they doing with Shayna?
It makes me not want to watch. Yeah. I have the opposite.
But the whole aftermath with I think Becky ruined the segment for me more than the bite.
I don't think she should have came back.
No. I think that she should have reluctantly went to the hospital and you have her take the ambulance Rollins back. Like, if you're going to do the Steve Austin thing, do it the right way that they did with Steve Austin, where he gets carried out kind of against his will,
and then drives himself back.
And then he drives himself back like, fuck you, I'm stealing your ambulance.
That would have made more sense. But the bite, I'll see. Well,
I'm telling you, wait till WrestleMania and she comes out with smoke and out of a coffin.
She's not
it's gonna happen.
I'm having a hard time trying to figure out who's to blame for this. It's either Paul or Vince, because I
think it's Paulie.
It has Paulie's fingers on it, but I could see Vince like meeting Shane in the back, and Paul.
We made a joke when I first got the Vince puppet before you came on the show, and we said we're so terrified for Shayna to come into the roster because he's like, God damn it, look at her, she's hideous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if she had.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If she had sunglasses on and a leather jacket. Oh, she looks like a vampire.
I could totally see Paul like introducing Shayna to Vince and be like, "This is Shayna. She's gonna work with Becky and Paul." And Vince is like, "Oh god damn, you're an MMA fighter, huh?
Yeah.
You know it'd be cool if you bit her."
Yeah.
And he's like, Paul's like, "They don't bite in MMA. They wear mouth guards." He's like, "Yeah, but you could take the mouth guard. All right, you could bite her." And Shayna's like, "Sure, Vince, I'll bite her."
Richard,
like,
get me Gangrel on the phone.
like Tyson.
Teach her how to bite.
That would have made more sense if she would have tried to bite her ear off. I would have been like,
I'm like,
all right,
okay.
fuck.
If they make Shayna, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir the new Brood,
there you go.
Maybe it's okay.
I love it.
Just use the same music, the same entrance.
After Velveteen Dream steals Marina away, and then she loses her mind. She becomes
I can't wait till we talk about that in NXT, dude. I can't wait.
And then the Street Profits versus Mojo Rawley.
Yeah, they got to wrestle.
And Riddick.
That's what I'll say.
Shit.
It was terrible.
Mojo Rawley sucks. Riddick Moss sucks.
Yeah. And then Riddick Moss
rolls him up and wins
and takes him out for the 24/7 title.
Remember how that belt was like entertaining for like a month?
Yeah,
it was so entertaining online, and then now it's just garbage.
It's because R-Truth's not involved with it anymore.
And they stopped doing the internet stuff. The internet stuff was great.
Even when they had what's his name do it, the little guy, Drake Maverick.
He was great with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's time, if you want to save it, you got to go full DDT now. You have to have like a chair win it.
Yeah, it had to be really wacky.
You have to have
a ref wins
box
it.
wins it.
Yeah. Now, speaking of 24/7 title, that's going to come into play later on in our topic. So keep in mind for that. So now we have the VIP section where it's MVP show.
I thought
the
this
VIP
was very
lounge.
good.
Yeah.
I thought Drew McIntyre was gonna fucking.
Well,
I thought he was gonna hit him in a Claymore earlier in it, but he
well, you have to talk a little bit.
MVP's a good talker.
He had to give him a reason to Claymore.
Yeah, the only thing that did make sense is he was his guest on a show, but the guy wouldn't let him into the show, so Drew knocks the thing over. I'm like, well, if he's on the show, wouldn't he be on the list to get in? Just nitpicking.
I think it would be like one name on the list.
MVP's a real good talker, and he should manage people. Not Drew McIntyre.
And then we had Cedric Alexander versus who I think is the superstar of the month so far when it comes down to like who's been super entertaining and putting on quality.
When we did the awards, this was my number one breakout.
Angel Garza. Man, he's had a good 2020 so far.
Unfortunately, there's no plan for him. Once Almas is back full time, he's going right back to NXT.
I think plans may have changed.
Yeah.
That was the number one rated segment on Raw.
Yeah.
Not
Really?
Seth Rollins,
Wow.
not Becky Lynch. The Angel Garza match was the number one rated quarter hour in Raw.
Like poor Cedric. Just release him.
Angel Garza is fire.
I would turn Cedric heel and make MVP his manager. I think that would be a great combination.
Cedric's really good.
Just make him this can't miss
I
athlete.
don't think it ever works though. When
representation.
it doesn't work when a manager is bigger than the wrestler.
Yeah.
Like that's not
He
true.
is physically
MVP's gonna be this big
busy,
dude, and like little Cedric. Like
Yeah, you're right.
So then
Cedric should just go back to NXT and just be in the cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
that
that's
would
fine
be-
there.
So then we had a backstage segment with Rhea Ripley, and she had a match with Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan doesn't do it for me at all. Like,
No.
she's trying to play like this crazy like wild
And
chick.
she's
and
coming off
like,
as a jobber, and I don't like when they give Rhea the scripted
It's
Raw line.
so the whole like, and this is not a knock, and I'm not trying to body shame or anything, but when Sarah Logan was a bigger girl, she can pull that wild man thing off a little more. But she's so fit and tinier now. It's she doesn't look like she's like before. She looked like the powerhouse of the Riot Squad, and now she's and that's listen. She's been doing amazing. She lost a lot of weight. She looks fantastic. But that whole Viking thing doesn't work for her anymore. Like she doesn't look like she's a force anymore. As to me,
looks like some.
they
wild
should just go full
country
into
girl.
it and just let her be a Viking and join the Viking Raiders, be like their manager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like her husband's already in the group, so why not?
Speaking of Riot Squad, I don't know where it was on the show, but I thought Ruby Riot's promo, it wasn't like anything groundbreaking, but I thought she had a pretty decent promo.
I'm very high on Ruby
Hulu
Riot.
does not like Ruby Riot, and they've had edited her out for 2 weeks now.
Did they?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a shame because she's fantastic. Bobby
I
Lashley
can see what
versus
she looks
Ricochet.
I fast forwarded through this. I hate Bobby Lashley.
Ricochet wins.
And once again, it was just bury Ricochet the whole entire match.
Ugh.
Just Jerry Lawler like, look at this guy. How's he going to beat Bobby Lashley? He's a stick. How's he going to beat Brock?
Too
He's
small.
a broom.
Well, then
it's
fire him.
It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
What? Like,
why
step
is he...
number one of wrestling is you don't bury your opponent, because then even if you win, who cares? You bury the guy who sucks.
You beat some shithead.
I'm taking notes for my attention. Don't bury the wrestling.
Don't bury wrestling.
Yeah. Don't mention the guy looks like a broom.
Yeah.
No rap references.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. And the whole, like, Bobby Lashley is no better from before the Rusev angle than now.
And not just dead on arrival because Rusev is apparently still negotiating his contract. It's like, well, what the fuck did we even start it for? Why did we put him in this hot angle?
I think their
maybe they
take
thought
was
he'd
to be like,
resign.
see how popular this is now? Resign with us. And he's like, oh, no, still not.
I hate this.
Yeah.
They'll put MVP and Bobby Lashley, put them together like they were an Impact.
Yeah, there you go. That would work.
Bobby Lashley can't talk, but MVP can, so there you go.
And speaking of guys that talk now, Dan Lambert from American Top Team is going to be doing MLW.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wow. That's cool. Dan Lambert's, he's a badass, man.
I was watching MLW the other day.
He has one of the biggest collections of old territory wrestling belts out there.
Really? Wow.
Dan Lambert has a huge wrestling belt collection.
There's probably a few guys at the PPW show who rival him. I don't. There's one dude bought the AEW title. I don't know how he paid for it. It's probably
no, not replicas. The belts they actually use.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's
Dan
pricey.
Lambert is like the guy who started like
American
actual
Top Team,
super gyms. Like he was the first. Like ATT was like the first gym where it's like you could get everything there. You could get striking there, wrestling there, jiu-jitsu there.
Oh, wow.
And then like there's like 6 or 7 like real big ones in the world.
And then Greg Jackson's like, I could do that too, and I'll just teach you how to point fight.
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
And we'll ruin the sport.
And then
I poke.
I'm going on a quick aside here on MLW. Sorry,
it's okay.
They're doing their Battle Riot, which is like a Royal Rumble, but it's 40
pins,
men, I think, and you can do
and
pins and submissions.
And
it's going to
knockout,
be,
I think.
it's going to be in Philly.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I think it's in May
at the ECW Arena.
Yeah, at the arena.
Like to go to that. If you want to watch the other ones on YouTube, so all their stuff's on YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah, Killer Cross was just on like what 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
On MLW, so that's pretty cool.
Randy Orton came out to give an explanation, and then Matt Hardy comes out.
I thought this was very good too.
He hits him with a chair in the head, and
you get the concerto.
The only thing I don't like is I wish like Matt would have came, and he did kind of mention in this promo like, well, once upon a time I hated Edge. I wish he would have came out and like, I don't feel sorry for Edge, but like I just don't like. It's one thing if I hate Edge, but I'm honest about it. Like I hate him to his face. Like you're gonna pretend to be his friend, and then you're like, they should play that angle.
And then,
but instead Matt was like, oh, I forgave him, and like, it's like fuck that.
Yeah.
Like,
then Matt put a tweet out pretty much saying goodbye.
Yeah, and Evil Uno posted a tweet and said, "You say goodbye, I say hello." I was like, "That's pretty good."
And then Matt's tweet had a link to Final Deletion episode 9. I guess he's been doing more. He's been doing more delete stuff.
I haven't watched
on his own.
That's good. When he came out, I was like,
I didn't even know he was doing it.
Oh,
I watched the first couple. They're pretty good. It's like him just looking in the mirror, and then the broken Matt is talking to him.
He's going nuts.
Yeah, he's doing it on his own. Like he's like.
Do you guys remember when they had like that lake of whatever the hell it's called? Yeah, he's doing that with this pool. And so in one episode, he jumped in like 9 times. He came out like 9 different gimmicks that he's done throughout his career and stuff. Like he kept like coming out and like jumping back and coming back out.
That's
like
funny.
It was really funny.
Is he like version 2?
Yeah,
he does that. Yeah,
it's high voltage.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's high voltage.
I know. And the one thing, Shannon Moore came out and he was doing the dance gimmick.
Yeah,
the 3 count.
Punk.
Are we gonna get?
That's the last of Matt Hardy WWE. His contract expires March 1st. They said.
Yeah, I think that was his.
They said he's negotiating, but I don't think he's staying because he wants to. He wants to do stuff.
Yeah,
I think he went to the darkorder.com.
He doesn't want to be. Yeah, he doesn't want to be 1999.
No.
Yeah,
and AEW seems like the destination, but how fun would Broken Matt and NWA Power be?
You never know.
How fun.
Maybe he'll do both.
Who knows? If anyone can negotiate it.
ROH. I mean, they're trying to get people.
Yeah.
It'd be cool, but I feel like AEW is really going to be on a press this next couple of months to really sign people.
Yeah,
I think
they want him, Lance
yeah.
Archer, Brian Cage. And plus, it just makes sense. And like they were really ramping up the Matt Hardy.
Cage is out for a while.
And
hints of the AW.
Yeah, with Jim Ross saying
and the Bucks
of Youth, which is a Matt Hardy.
I don't think Jeff's welcome back to WB. I think after his last DUI.
Well, I heard he's going to the Performance Center.
Yeah, I heard
he'll be back. They kind of don't care about DWIs.
Yeah. The Usos.
Aleister Black versus Tozawa.
Was that a squash?
Somewhat competitive.
That was
it must have been, because honestly, dude, I don't remember any of it, so it must have been quick.
It wasn't that great. It got a D.
I just know that Aleister Black gave a promo afterwards, and I was just like, all right, dude, just enough. I don't care anymore. Like, once again, he's like, yeah.
I'm here.
He was like, just remember that if this is a cage, you're locked in with me, not like.
Do you know what that's from? That's from Watchmen.
Exactly.
I heard that in one podcast. Like, what is that? Don't make sense. Like, it's from Watchmen when Rorschach is trapped in the jail, and it means that Rorschach's gonna kill him.
Is it that hard to just have a guy who doesn't say a word and kicks everybody's head off?
Apparently.
Then we had the Viking Raiders and Kevin Owens versus Samoa Joe versus AOP, Murphy, and Seth Rollins.
Who lost his first name?
They called him Buddy, and they quick fucking.
But then he might find his first name because Mustafa Ali lost it, and he found it.
Maybe they can switch. It could be Mustafa Murphy and Buddy Ali.
Buddy Ali.
I actually like both those names a lot more.
Yeah,
I really do.
Mustafa Murphy is pretty good. I
like that a lot more.
He's a half black and half Irish.
Well, what they could do is now they have Murphy and they already have Gunner in NXT.
There you go.
You could have Gunner and Murphy back together again.
I mean, shit, why not?
All right, now you want to do AEW NXT
Main event
first?
was fine. You guys go to NXT because I didn't watch it, so I don't have nothing to say.
NXT.
I watched it a little bit. I thought that the Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle stuff, it's goofy, but I thought it was great.
I did like the thing. I thought.
Well, we'll get into that. Well, let's
they had several different ones.
Yeah. So the show starts off. Roderick Strong comes down and gets confronted by
Bronson Reed.
Thank you.
I don't know him. What was his
Jonah
name?
Rock. He's an Australian guy.
Pretty much he's
the thick boy.
He's the one that
I'm not familiar with
they
him.
jumped him backstage last week, so he came up for retribution. Strong beats him, and then as he's going to leave the ring, Dream comes on the Tron and pretty much says,
well, before that,
he's there. And
the lights go down and there's like effects on the screen.
But Roddy still wins.
And it distracts Roddy, but Roddy comes back because Bronson Reed comes off the top, but Roddy catches him and pins him.
Yeah, with a jumping knee. That looks good.
Then
Roddy's so good.
He's fantastic. Then Dream pretty much says, "You try to take away my career. You try to take away my life. Now I'm going to take something away from you." And then he shows the Marina Shafir tights and stuff, and he's pretty much saying, "I'm going to take your wife
and his son."
Like I said in the chat, I didn't like the way the match was booked. It would have made a lot more sense if Roddy would have actually ran through Jonah Rock. It would have been cool because it would have been like, damn, he beat this big ass dude because he's that pissed at Dream. Like he's Dream's going to be in for a war. But it's like he got taken. I get the guy's a big dude, but he really got taken to the limit. Like he barely beat him.
Yeah. Well, you're also another way you can look at it too is that he's trying to focus on the match against a guy who's not a slouch, who's just as angry, wants to kick your ass because you jumped him last week. Sure. And in the back of your head, all you're thinking about is Dream and what he did to you the previous week. And he disrespected. So Roddy probably went out and probably wasn't on his A game. Yeah, because of that. You know what I mean? It's another way.
The bigger thing I have with it is it's kind of warping the lines. Because you have Dreams is doing heel stuff. Like this is Rick Rude heel playbook.
I'm going to steal your wife.
I'm going to steal your wife and your son.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Unless he was treating his wife bad and he was saving
exactly.
her.
Then it could be a face thing, but it's not. That's not what it is at all.
And then
it's weird dynamic that they're trying to go for.
And then on the flip side, Roddy overcomes interference to win clean, which is a complete babyface thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
let's just going to turn Roddy, but I don't think
it's too soon for them to be called up because they're probably getting called up after Mania to make Roddy now just break off on his own. You don't want to send Roddy up to the main roster by himself.
No. They've always done weird things with him. Like I thought really strongly that he should have been the guy to beat Bobby Roode for the NXT title.
Do you think they only send up 3 members of Undisputed Era, and this is the way they get Roddy out of the group?
I hope.
I would say you keep Roddy there. I mean,
Roddy's probably the best guy in the group.
I'd put them all together.
He could be a bigger singles competitor.
They're not going to push him.
See, Roddy was already there before they even got there for like a year and a half, so he's already been there so long. He's got to go. You know, he can't be staying there forever.
Yeah.
So I think they probably go together. This is just their way of thinking, like Dream's getting his revenge. I mean, the dude did try to end his career, but...
Well, here, I know we talked about it a little in the chat, but to me, I've never seen Dream as a babyface.
He wasn't for years.
He's been a heel most of the time.
Well, even this, like, I know the crowd is over on him, but the way I see Dream, the way I he's like The Rock. Like, he doesn't, like, yes, the fan, like, he kind of sees it as an egotistical maniac who says, yes, the fans like me and they should worship the ground I walk on. Mm-hmm. And I just do what I want and don't care.
But, I mean,
so if you get me, I'm getting you back harder. That's like Dream he's a scumbag. Like he doesn't tote the line between good guy and bad guy. He just does what Dream does.
Well, that's called a tweener, which he's kind of being pretty much straight good guy because they came back and I was like a good guy thing, come back, beat up all the bad guys.
But it's also like nowadays, how many shaking hands, kissing babies,
you can't
baby faces are there? Gargano was that for a little bit, and he's not even that anymore.
Yeah.
And
that's one of
Ciampa's a psychopath, and he's a top.
That's one of the
face.
big issues with wrestling now, kind of in 2020 is everybody is a tweener. Like everybody wants to be a tweener. No, there's no like lines anymore. It's like it's so hard to find. That's why Cody is such a good babyface on AEW because he's an actual full blown babyface. Yeah, he's not trying to play the cool guy. He's actually trying to be a babyface. You know what I mean? That's
but he also falls into the category of your Roman Reigns and your John Cena's, where they do babyface stuff that people are just so sick. Like they need to find a new way to push those style babyfaces because being disrespected every week and the world's out to get you and you have no friends and everything's so sad, but I'm going to rise above it.
Well, that was definitely bad writing. That was terrible.
And that's just what they're doing with every babyface that's not a tweener. And
Vince don't know how to make it.
It's not just AEW's doing it too. Like the whole I believe that's how Cody.
But then you have someone like Luchasaurus, who like there you go, he's doing good.
Yeah,
babyface, and like John Moxley, but he's still kind of like
he's a tweener.
He's a tweener. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely more babyface, but it's the same thing where he's too cool for school and he doesn't, you know what I mean, all that kind of shit.
Let's keep going over here so we don't get too far behind.
Like a guy who's a great babyface is Tyler Bate, but you don't see it because it's on NXT UK.
Yeah, he's a great babyface.
This is the worst match of the night for me on both shows. Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae.
Worst match of both shows.
I'm not even going to.
Candice LeRae is leaking like a government document.
Yes.
Oh my god. What the fuck does that mean?
Johnny
was she bleeding? Like
her nose.
I don't. Maybe I just don't see it yet with Cameron Grimes, but Johnny Gargano versus Cameron Grimes.
He needs a tan.
It's weird because I'm a big fan of his, like Trevor Lee when he was in PWG and stuff. He was great, but he's always been great in the ring, but he's never had like a character. So now his character is he just
why are they not using this Boogahagen guy? Like why is he not on TV?
That's been a full year because I can't share the video because WWE blocked it. I was like, come on, I'm helping you guys.
Do you think he's doing house shows for them? And
probably
because every time he's shown people pops.
But he was so over, and then they just like, no.
It's one of those cases again. If we don't want you to be over and you get over, then we're just going to bury you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any... Could you imagine running a company and somebody on the wrong gets over? I would be like, fuck yeah, good job.
Use them,
the fuck out there.
Yeah. Use them, make money. They could have put out a Buddha Hawkins shirt with him air guitaring and have him come out and beat a jobber.
In a weird way, it's like they didn't want him to do that because Kyle O'Reilly's been doing the air guitar with the titles, and it's like, well, you can't do Kyle's thing. And it's like, well, Kyle's not really diving into it.
Yeah, but he was doing the drums, and when he started playing the keyboards, and he fell over. I'm like, this is... So a full year, he's done nothing.
Nothing.
And they changed his name, and it's like...
There'd be another one like Juice Robertson where he was nothing in NXT and then he goes off somewhere and becomes a star.
Budenhagen in NWA. Awesome.
Yeah. And then once again, we brought this guy up already, and maybe he's in contention for him with himself for match of the week so far. Leo Rush and Angel Garza was a fantastic match.
That was my favorite match on NXT.
Edited it out.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was the best match on NXT for sure.
I can't stand watching the fucking...
But you were talking about who's hotter in this month. To me, the hottest guy in wrestling right now is Jordan Devlin. He's on 3 shows right now, killing it. He's on NXT UK. He's on NXT and 205 Live. Every week he's on all 3 shows.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He's on 3 shows, killing it.
But Garza's the guy who lost the belt to this guy, and he's still getting more TV time than the champion.
Well, I guess they want to use him.
He's
Angel Garza's such a star.
Yeah,
though.
he's just charismatic. I'm that's not a knock against the champ now, but Garza's just so...
Because I'm excited for that match next week.
Angel Garza could be...
Jordan will be great.
Yeah. Angel Garza could be the Mexican Shawn Michaels. Yeah. He's got that... I'm not saying he will be. He's got that potential.
He's like Eddie. He's like a new Eddie. He's that good. Bianca Belair versus Santana Garnet. It was a squash.
Santana Garrett.
Sorry.
45 seconds. Yeah.
It was a squash match.
Santana Garrett.
She's done nothing since she came to NXT.
And she's great. And her music does not fit her at all. And she needs a character.
It was weird because they didn't hype her up at all that she was coming to NXT, and then she came, and I remember the first night she got no reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
And I feel like backstage they're like, oh, nobody gave her a reaction. They don't care. It's like, well, how the fuck they don't know her, dude? Don't give up on her just because the first week she came out, nobody said anything.
Yeah.
And then we had a little confrontation between her and Rhea. And
building up
the only thing
Sunday.
I think Rhea needs to work on,
she needs her makeup. It's ugly.
I don't mind her makeup.
Brutality.
She needs to learn her timing on her entrance when she does that foot stomp.
The kick thing.
She's never on time.
Yeah,
like how Adam Cole got the boom. Like he could pull it anywhere. He's like, anyway.
It's almost like she's waiting for pyro to go off or something. And none goes off.
She's trying to wait for the drop of the music.
Yeah,
and she's always early. Always.
She's too excited.
Yeah, like Adam Cole would just be like he's not paying attention. He'll be dead on the ground, and they'd be like, boom. Like he just knows when it's coming.
Well, it's one of those things too where a lot of the people at NXT has pushed to the moon have been people that were ready. It was
she's definitely super green and getting pushed. Maybe it's too soon, but I think she's doing fantastic.
Well, she got pushed that soon because she got over.
Yeah,
so
that's like we're saying.
It works, but and they kind of had her earmarked for it. But yeah, I mean, like she's not somebody like Adam Cole or Ciampa or Gargano or
she's not
Asuka, who's been around forever. Ember Moon was kind of new, but she had been around for a while, but she was ready when she became the champion.
I don't know if you guys seen, Charlotte was on WWE Backstage this week, and she put over Bianca Belair big time. They asked her who they think is going to be the next big star in the Divas division or Women's division, and she said Bianca Belair. I was like, damn.
Well, now, this is the last match of the NXT here, and I have...
Kushida versus Adam Cole?
I have compliments, and I also have a knock.
I didn't get to watch this yet, but I'm kind of glad because I don't want to watch it edited down version.
It was fantastic. It was a great match.
Kushida's very good.
He's very good.
He's excellent.
So they literally were like pushing Kushida to be one of the greatest in the planet right now. He's one of the top guys in the world, and he finally gets a chance to go up against Adam Cole. Where was this? He's the greatest in the world for the past 3 months he's been there. Because every time he's there, he doesn't blow you away. The match that the match we got now of Kushida, we have not seen this for the entire time he's been there.
He had some good matches with Drew Gulak.
Not like this one though.
The Kushida and Gulak had
he was pulling flying arm bars out of everywhere. Like it was phenomenal.
They had a match on NXT before it was on USA. Kushida and Gulak. It was amazing.
It was really good.
He was the guy that I was like, was he worth leaving Japan? Because I don't think he's that good. Like every match I've seen with him, he has not blown
really
me away.
He's
and then
really
he
good.
steps in there. He steps in between the ropes with Adam Cole.
Oh, he had a good match with Walter too. Him and Walter, because he broke his arm. Yeah, that was a good match.
I just seen it as more like I think big guys get a lot of shit for being big guys sometimes, but when you're a really good big guy and you're good, like sometimes I think it's not an easier match, but I think it's a different dynamic you could play in the ring. But when you have two guys who are usually the same size, I think you have to work a little harder to storytell. This match was fucking phenomenal, and I was really, really impressed, and I can see why people are really high on the Kushida.
What are they calling his hoverboard lock now? The armbar, the thing.
I think they did cover the hoverboard lock.
Yeah, I think they're still calling it.
Yeah.
I watched one time and they called it something stupid. I'm like, what the fuck is it? And they do the roll through DDT. I love that.
I believe so.
He does like a roll and he pops up in DDTs.
I believe so. Yeah, I think he did it. I think he did it from the outs. He did it through the rope or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a really good match.
It was fantastic.
I don't think
I think that might have been better than the Garza.
It was neck and neck. They were neck and neck. They were
both
definitely
fantastic
the two
matches.
The only reason I gave the Garza and Rush match a little bit of an edge because it was a little bit less predictable. Like I knew Cole was going to, because Cole can't afford a loss this close to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, they're not going to.
So the Rush and the Garza match, I didn't know who the hell was going to be the number one contender because Garza never got a rematch. Yeah, so
and Garza lost.
Kushida is at the point now where he needs a win. Like if you're sending up the Undisputed Era, if Velveteen Dream is going to beat Roddy, then Kushida should beat Roddy.
It would have been perfect to just get Alex Shelley, but I guess they couldn't sign him to make them as tag champs.
Yeah, that'd been dope.
He's wrestling Deppen, right?
Deppen,
Yeah.
At Joey Janela's
I think if anyone, AEW is going to get Alex Shelley.
Shelley?
If he does sign, because he's a chiropractor apparently, and he's really good.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
maybe
his business is very well, so you have to.
I'm
pay him enough to make.
Apparently, Sean Stasiak's a chiropractor now.
Yeah, I'm hearing there's buzz out there that people are looking at Deppen.
Oh, probably. I mean,
big names. So that might be something in the work soon.
Well, he's been almost more than anybody the guy who's kind of risen up to fill the void that was left by a lot of these guys that left the Indies and went to AEW because he's a fixture in PWG now. He's a fixture in GCW. Those are your two biggest Indies.
William Regal watches PWG. Well, a lot in the Bucks, honestly. So
there's always that running joke that like if you become PWG champion, like Triple H will call you the next day.
Yeah,
come on down to NXT.
That may be one of the companies. I wasn't told anything. I was just told to keep an eye on it. But that was the one I was like
Bobby Heenan.
I was like, I can definitely see him being in NXT, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. What if he takes Rodney's spot?
Rodney,
yeah, because they make Rodney not part of Undisputed Era.
Roddy.
Sorry,
I was thinking,
Rodney.
Who are we talking about?
Anyway,
that made me think of Brother Love.
About Rodney. No respect.
No respect at all.
Rodney.
And I was like, Rodney Mack.
Yeah.
No,
Rodney the Piper. Rodney Mack. Yeah, with Jazz.
So AEW tag team match: Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus SCU.
This is very good.
Very good match.
Very good.
they had a little bit of a Dark Order thing in the beginning, and then
and they hit Matt Hardy a few times.
Yeah, very good match, and then at the very end,
the Exalted One is coming.
Omega and Paige win. Omega goes to leave the ring.
Yeah, how about that finisher? Buckshot Larry and the V-trigger at the same time. That's a good move.
And the whole time they're teasing like he's gonna miss and hit Paige.
They did super,
which is good.
Yeah,
and of course Christopher Daniels leaves. So they're making it seem like he's gonna be the Exalted One so much that he can't.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like a red herring.
Yeah. And then Omega Paige kind of leaves his own way. Just says, "I'm not going out with you."
That's how they're gonna.
Yeah.
And then they had all the tag teams come out too.
Apparently next week they're defending the belts against the Lucha Brothers.
It's so weird that they're back-to-back weeks to defend it, but
so they're and at the very end the Dark Order comes out, and then all the other teams come out, and they have like a face-off.
Yeah, just have the Battle Royal next week because the winners get a title shot, but the Lucha Brothers just get a title shot. It's like,
that's whatever. What I'm confused about.
Yeah, I don't quite understand it, but okay.
This match I was excited for, and it didn't do that much for me. Dusty Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara.
Dustin Rhodes,
sorry. Dustin Rhodes versus
I'm back,
Sammy
baby.
Guevara.
Yeah, I'm back, baby. AW, my son Coda running this here.
Sammy Guevara, I'm going to get you with the elbow,
so
baby.
Proud.
And then, Dustin wins.
The man's dead, don't he?
And
Dusty ain't doing nothing.
And he calls out Jake Hager.
Yeah, I liked the match. That was pretty good. It wasn't a great match, but it was pretty good.
I expected more. I have a lot of I like Rhodes a lot, and I also really like Sammy Guevara.
I'll tell you
I thought it would be a bit.
What pissed me off.
Sunrise.
What pissed me off in that match was the crowd chanting at Dustin, "You still got it!" Like no shit, stupid. He's been wrestling. He just had match of the year.
He did lose it for a little while, like the Black Rain years.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, like he literally had match of the year.
And even when he was in WWE before
he was having good matches.
Yeah, so
when him and Cody were teaming against the Shield, they had amazing.
This crowd was an awesome crowd.
No, they were definitely into it, but some chants just come. Like even in the very first match tonight, which was a great match, but like 2 minutes into the match, they start chanting, "This is awesome." Come on. It's like, come on, man, we haven't even got going.
Just be a rule.
Like,
you have to wait for this.
I hate the term mark. I hate it. Listen, at the end of the day, we're all marks. If you're a wrestling fan, you probably are a mark. It's just the reality of it. It's like all of us calling each other nerds because we read comic books. Like I know we're all nerds, but I guess there's levels to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when you get super into your Pokemon stuff, I call you nerds.
Yeah. Or like if you're like, I could consider Dungeons & Dragons nerdier than I normally would get into, but I'm open to it.
I mean, we're talking about football. He's like, these fucking nerds over here.
Yeah.
Football nerds.
These fucking football nerds won't shut up.
But there is deeper versions of marks, and I think AEW is winning that race.
Well, yeah, for sure, because
the hardest of the hardcores are all AEW zombies.
Like them singing Jericho's music every week.
I
now.
like that.
I love it.
I do, but you could tell they're just be like, "Oh, they did it on the cruise, and it was so awesome. We got to keep doing it."
Well, that's
happens
exactly what
all
happened
the
to
time.
WWE. Look what happened with Fandango's music.
Yeah,
the
remember
WrestleMania
that?
crowd did it, and then every
was
crowd
cool,
for like 3 weeks.
I personally like it. I do. If I'm in a crowd, I'm going to sing in it too.
By the way, AEW is coming back to Philly in April.
Really?
April 22nd at the Leocora Center.
I want them in Reading so bad.
They could do Reading.
That arena would be perfect.
Reading, Bethlehem, they could do Wilkesboro, Allentown.
Wilkesboro, I could definitely
is a little bit too small.
Dr. Britt Baker comes out and
they should do Hershey, man. Hershey,
Hershey would be perfect.
I think it's too big.
It's about the same.
I think they could fill it.
Or for AEW?
Yeah,
I think
Hershey only holds about.
As long as they have it out like a month in advance, I think the tickets are nice.
I don't think Hershey holds 10,000. I don't think.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Wilkes-Barre. Sorry, you're
Wilkes-Barre,
right.
They could do it too because there isn't that.
Wilkes-Barre sucks if you're sitting on the floor.
That's it.
If you're not first 3 rows and you sit in the floor like we did when we went, it was fucking terrible. You couldn't see shit.
Wilkes-Barre, that arena isn't too big here. I think they could do that too.
Yeah,
like the Philly one. Where are they going to Philly?
Leocora Center.
Okay, yeah.
There's not a bad place.
They couldn't do that.
There's not a bad place to sit if you're in Reading.
Yeah,
there's not a bad place to sit.
Shout out to our buddy Austin. They're going to be at Temple University.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll probably be there again. He was the last one, right?
Yeah.
He's like a walking distance. Britt Baker comes out. This is Texas.
By the way, real quick, sorry. That's also where they did the TNA lockdown where Foley won the title.
Oh, okay.
I hated that so much back in the day.
But that building is where AEW runs when they're in Philly.
And then after the promo, we'll get right to it. Riho.
I kind of like I didn't get the Whataburger reference. Why was that such a big
deal?
That's a Texas.
That's a huge. It's like how In-N-Out Burger is in LA.
Yeah,
that's what Whataburger is in Texas.
Britt's getting better at heel promos.
It was better than the last 2 weeks. Yeah,
her promo style though is very just. I'm just gonna insult the crowd.
Better than you.
Like you're all
I'm
ugly.
Hot,
I'm
smart.
Exactly.
I thought this was the best of her promos.
Yeah.
Just because you did that smarmy heel thing. Oh, her tooth was decayed. And I took it out for free. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's get Isaac Yankem though.
I think and this is someone who I was not really high on this performer. I thought they were kind of dull. I think this is the best match she's been in so far in the company. Riho versus Nyla Rose for the belt.
I thought it was surprisingly good.
It was very, very good.
I thought the storytelling in the ring was fantastic.
A lot of people were like, wow, that match was very good. A lot of people saying the best AEW women's match so far.
I think it was the best women's match
I agree. I would 100% agree with that.
It's either that or the first time they wrestled. If you remember back to the very first Dynamite, they had a really good match where Riho won the title for the first time.
Absolutely. I think
Nyla
can easily be disregarded as just a big the big
bruiser.
The bruiser, yeah. And you kind of like, well, all big people suck. You know, they're not the greatest in the ring. They just go out there and they be big.
No, she can move though.
She can move, and not only
she's a little. They're still a little rough around the edges. She's not like crazy experienced, right?
No, she's an indie. She came out of the indies.
Yeah, like, and she's only gonna get better.
And I think Riho plays better when she's playing small David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
I don't want to use this analogy because you're saying, oh, it's the big woman against the Asian woman.
Yeah.
But TNA, some of their best women's matches were Awesome Kong against Gail Kim.
Yeah.
And it always reminds me of Sting and Vader.
Yeah.
And
what I don't like is that they keep doing this. Like, so after the match is over and they cut to commercial, they do like the split screen.
Yeah.
And on the split screen, it always looks like important shit's happening, but we can't hear it.
Yeah, like
so
the fight feed gets it, but that's great for the fight feed. But
yeah, so
the majority of people are watching on TNT.
So Nyla walks in the back, and like Kenny's back there, and Kenny tries to shake her hand, and she like doesn't shake his hand, and she's like saying something to him. I don't know fucking what she's saying to him. And then the other girls are like looking all intimidated, like the rest of the girls in the locker room. She like scares them, and they're like, and then Kenny's like, and then she walks, and I'm like, why the fuck's that not on TV? Like, show that shit.
But Nyla goes for One Winged Angel. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? So they're teasing her versus Kenny, and then like Riho starts hitting the Snapdragons, and I'm like, what are you getting at here? What's the payoff?
I
Kenny
popped
versus
for
Nyla?
all that. That was great.
Yeah, that was cool.
They really do need like a...
And they need to get a physically bigger belt for her.
and they need
that belt was small for Riho.
It was small for, and
Rio's tiny.
They need another, like...
They need another name.
Big player, female babyface.
Like, is Statlander the girl to go up against Nyla now? Because I don't see it.
I guess that's the plan, though, but I don't
Where's
see
she
it
been?
either.
Yeah, it's like she had all that momentum and then gone.
Well, her whole reason for being out there was a storyline with Brandy Rhodes, and they have abandoned that. That is officially erased.
It never happened.
But I like that.
Probably for the best.
I like that they did that though. I like that they listened to the fans' criticism and they were like, okay, nobody likes this, no one's enjoying it, so let's just stop it. You know what I mean? Because WWE doesn't give a fuck. Like, you could all day long say much you hate it, and it's like, Vince out of spite will keep things going.
Yeah.
Because Vince is like that. If he knows you hate something, he'll be like, well, I'll make you.
Now, the only thing that scares me with that is if you do get asshole fans who would just fucking shit on your product.
On everything.
And then now every week you're fucking catering into your fans.
And there's definitely got to be a slippery
and you're not like, listen, just let it go for a couple weeks. There's a good payoff here.
There's a line. You can listen without letting the fans dictate, letting the fans be the booker.
I don't think they had a payoff. And I think they were like, I don't think the fans are willing to for our payoff, and we really don't have one structured. So let's just get rid of it.
It was that whole Poochie went back to his own planet.
And Kong had to go film season 4 of
the last season of Glow. Yeah. So maybe she comes back as a babyface. You have Monster versus Monster.
Maybe
because they attacked her on Dark.
Yeah,
Luther and whatever the chick's name was. They attacked
Mel.
I
feel bad for her. She shaved her
for nothing
for this thing,
for
and
nothing,
then now it's not gonna happen.
I mean, she's not very good. And they said she's wrestled for like 10 years. Like,
oh Jesus.
Then we have Jungle Boy versus MJF.
I thought this was very good too.
It was good. It was fun.
MJF could show off that he can wrestle a little bit.
As a Busted Open fan, when MJF took the Dave LaGreca head out of the crowd and threw a chair on its head, awesome, and funny.
I don't know if it's JR or Tony Schiavone says Dave LaGreca never looked better.
Yeah,
I think it was Schiavone. Yeah, that was funny.
Well, Dave LaGreca tweeting goes, "I thought chair shots to the head were illegal."
That's funny.
Good match. I thought MJF
in the beginning it was real good when they both did the kip up. I'm like, oh,
you know, it was cool too.
Jungle Boy can go, man.
Yeah.
It was a cool little entrance spot. Like MJF came out with his bodyguard or whatever, and he sent him to the back. So when Jungle Boy came out, he came out with Luchasaurus, and then he sent him in the back. It was like, all right, I don't need him either. It was like a cool thing where they're like, let's just do this mano a mano and let's fucking do it.
Then we had eyeball versus eyeball match, Moxley versus Santana.
Well, real quick though, they have something with Luchasaurus. They really have something with that guy.
He's a big babyface. Wardlow gave him the ring. He came back and then he did the cheap. I like the heel finish and MJF wins.
I'm not trying to rush over stuff, but we are about an hour 17 in, and we still have to cover NWA and this topic. All right, so eyeball versus eyeball match.
This match wasn't that great.
It got an A.
It was okay.
It didn't do it for me. It didn't do it.
Yeah.
The end was cool. The end says, you know what? Now next week we have someone new you're going to fight that's a member of the Inner Circle.
Well, that was before that. Jericho cut the promo and said you're going to face Jeff Cobb.
He did.
And the smart thing they did, they played a video and you got to see him wrestle.
Yeah.
You're like,
and then at the very end he shows up.
Yeah, because people are like, who's this guy? Oh, he looks pretty cool.
I haven't seen...
All it takes is 20-second videos to get people over.
Yep.
I haven't seen an entrance like that where you literally legit felt the fear of the man until he showed up. That reminded me of Taz all over again.
It was cool. It was very cool.
Yep.
It was really well done.
Now he has long hair. He kind of looks like Rhino a little bit. So
he literally looks like Rhino and Taz had a baby.
But how about this? I read this morning that PWI reported that he did not officially sign with AEW yet.
Really?
Right now he's still an independent contractor. And he can work, like they're letting him work wherever he wants. So I don't know what the deal is. I guess I would assume he's going to sign full time.
Yeah. And you know where you could definitely find
music.
him.
Yeah, WrestleMania
Wrestling.
Yeah.
He is on the roster.
So he's going to be at Supercard of Honor. And him, Dan Math, got a tag title.
I got a mini micro brawler in my first box.
So,
and one of the shows it's going to be them against Kenta and Ishimori too.
Yeah, that's actually
he looks like a
really
beast.
good.
I'm excited for him. His suplexes look fucking.
And then he did the tour of the islands, the Moxley. He's very strong. So
he's an Olympian, man. He's a legit athlete.
Like the only thing I did, his G1 run last past summer was not good
was
at
really
all.
bad. Yeah.
So
just the booking of him sucked.
Yeah.
Too. Like he lost so much.
Yeah,
and then Tony would know him best as Matanza.
Yeah, Matanza.
He was
Lucha Underground?
the guy with the mask.
The big evil guy.
I only got like season 2. I never.
Yeah, he was. You know, the owner Dario Cueto, his
one.
crazy brother with the mask.
He had like
the real big guy,
like the overall outfit almost. Like it was like a.
He looked like a horror movie villain.
Shit, pull up a picture.
I don't think I got that far.
You had to because he was in season 1.
He was in season 1.
Yeah, the big guy, the real huge guy with the black mask. Like who can stop it? He's up on the top and like.
I thought that was El Cuerno.
No,
Cuerno's the.
That guy.
Oh yeah, that wasn't in season 1. That was much later, if anything.
He debuted at the end of season 1, and then season 2 he was like the.
He was like.
I barely got that far into season 1 then, because where I was at is where like Phoenix was going against El Cuerno, and then Pentagon was breaking everyone's arms. Like, that guy wasn't even. And then what's his name was getting the cigar burned in his eye. And
you should definitely watch. I don't know if Netflix still has it, but season 2, he's great. He's like the heel champ for like almost the whole season.
Yeah,
he's great.
Luchasaurus was there for a while too. Yeah,
Matt Cross. Yeah, I like
Matt Cross. Yeah, it was such a good show. I didn't get that far to go back. All right, so we'll kind of get through this because it's not too long anyway. Bouncers, Beer City Bruisers, Brian Malonis, Eddie Kingston. With Eddie King, with Eddie Kingston defeated the Dawsons.
His promo wasn't this week, but it was like last week. Eddie Kingston's promo. That promo was so freaking good, dude.
Homicide must be hurt or something because he's out this whole season.
I think he retired or something.
Really?
I think so because they ran like one of his last matches, some event. I remember.
Yeah, because we showed up at NWA the first time. I thought Homicide was done, so maybe that's and they're just firing something for Eddie could do because Eddie can still wrestle.
Mm-hmm. Tom Latimer defeats Tim Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a quick match.
They had the guy coming out again is Mama Storm.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with that.
The NWA television title, Ricky Starks went to time limit draw with Matt Cross.
Yeah, and they do a thing now where, like the TV title matches, the time limit is 6 minutes and 5 seconds, so you're gonna have a lot of draws. And if the TV champion can win or draw for 7 matches, they get a shot at they get a shot at the world title.
Oh wow, that's a cool thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I always like that in Impact when like Impact is like if you were the X Division champion and you could keep you keep the title till when was it No Surrender or whatever
Destination X.
Destination X. You could hand over the X Division title and you can get a world title shot, and that was always cool.
Yeah.
So I think the way they're playing that, maybe just from what I've been watching, to win the X Division title, Ace Austin he pretty much had to go through Tessa to do it. Now Tessa's your champion. Ace Austin's got to be coming close to his year, right? Like where he can cash in.
I don't know if they still
I don't
have
think
that
it's
rule.
a year yet, but I don't know if they still have that rule. But he has a match with her already at No Surrender, but he's not going to win it.
No, that's one of those Impact Plus. That's how show they're televising. They're putting streaming.
It can be very possible that Ace Austin can be Impact champion within the next year or two.
Possible. I don't know who they go with next though. I don't. I don't see Tessa losing for a little bit yet.
I think she'll have it for a while.
Yeah.
Eddie Edwards, because I think the cup he can cash in, he might be the guy that beats her.
Yeah.
I feel like there's too many cash-in things for people. It's like every company now has some kind of weird. At any point, you could have a title shot.
Money in the Bank. It's like
I wouldn't mind seeing Ace Austin get it. That'd be fucking awesome.
No, that'd be awesome.
Melina defeats Tasha Steelz.
Yeah, what was surprisingly good for
Interesting
them
outfit for Melina.
She looked like Beetlejuice.
No, that was
that was last week.
That she has
I said it was dangerous.
Cutouts like that come from her knees all the way up like to the sides. I'm like, she has no underwear on under that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like what the, whoa.
Showing a lot of hip.
Yeah,
Really?
a lot of skin, Melina, and she hits with her fin. Remember,
She still
like,
looks good for how. It's like what she's in her 40s by now. Maybe?
She has to be. She reminds me of
really
Salma
good.
Hayek. Like,
Yeah.
like
Oh
her
my
hair
God,
still,
she's
she
so
still looks
beautiful.
great.
Nick Aldis and Royce Isaacs defeat the Rock and Roll Express.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they ended
It
the
was a
show.
pretty good match. They're still teasing like Ricky Morton versus Nick Aldis again.
Yeah. They and they had one of those commercial spots where they had a thing for Nikita Koloff's ministry.
God. And that's serious because he
Yeah,
did
he's
become
a-
religious.
he's
holding the one belt the whole time. Like, this is like a joke, but it's not.
He's a
He
deeply
became
religious
religious?
guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a preacher.
A lot of guys, when they leave wrestling, like Jim Ross says, they either go on like a speaking tour or they find religion. And then they start
In fact,
preaching.
there's this thing. It was like this reality show about like preachers' daughters or something like that. And the first season, I think him and his daughter were on it.
Oh,
God.
wow.
You know what NWA did? They did announce more shows now. It's one's called Superpower.
Did they announce where the Crockett Cup's going to be at?
Next
no,
week.
next
Oh,
week,
that's
yeah,
next
they're
week.
going to announce where that's at.
And they're doing that thing, the Circle Squared.
Yeah,
which is
the-
like a Tough Enough type thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with
Oh,
the
cool.
new wrestlers, and then there's the Navarro show. There's like 3 shows that they announced. I was
They
like,
have
wow.
a roster, you just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean,
Every time they take a season-ending photo, there's a bunch of guys there that are
yeah,
definitely
like
working out.
Crimson
Oh,
didn't debut yet.
Billy Corgan. He just got interviewed by Chris Van Vliet, like we were talking
Yeah.
about, and he was saying that when he got like the offer to buy NWA, and he was talking about it, that he initially was under the premise that NWA would be aired on the WWE network.
Yeah,
That's when
I
he
heard
bought
that,
it.
yeah.
He was like, "Oh, cool! Like I'll buy it. The WWE will let us run it on the network." And then once they bought it and stuff, they're like, "Oh, that
That's-
WWE isn't interested."
Yeah, that's
so
what
we're just
Lagana
gonna put it
thought
on
too, because
YouTube."
that's what
And they're
Lagana.
like, "Oh, okay."
Jim Cornette was talking about on his podcast. He was saying how Dave Lagana was saying that because that's what
Yeah.
they thought that. But why would they
Because
put the
that'd been wild though. If we
Yeah.
could go on network and watch
Yeah.
NWA, that'd
Yeah.
be wild.
All right, so Takeover Portland. It starts off with a street fight between Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox.
I'm thinking Dakota Kai, but
I'm thinking Dakota Kai.
Usually the first match in a feud, the heel wins. Yeah,
Yeah.
unless they're just going to blow it off.
I think it's gonna be a blow off. I think Tegan Knox wins it. I think they realize that the fans don't give a fuck.
I hope it's a blow off, but I think Kyle will win and they keep it going.
Yeah. North American champ. I just think there's too many. There's other girls in the division that can get storylines, and this is not one that they could dwell on. North American Championship: Keith Lee versus Dominic. I think Keith Lee
Yeah,
keeps
Keith
it.
Lee
I think this
Keith
will be the match of the night, though.
They usually do well. They usually do have
how
great
about
matches.
they
I
had
don't
Mark
know, man.
Henry doing the hype-up
Yeah.
video, which I'm like, this is good,
Yeah.
but he was all sweaty and wet. Like, why is he wet? He's not
excited.
wrestling. He's just doing a
sexual-
promo.
he's sexual
Those
chocolate.
lights
He was
are
like
hot.
all soaked.
He's
I'm like,
so
what
excited.
The fuck?
He's so
He
pumped.
gets so excited about two big men
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah,
He-
just
He's so
sweating.
used to watching these vanilla midgets like Kevin
Yeah.
Nash said that he
Yeah.
gets
This
all
is what
greasy.
I think is going to steal the show. Balor Gargano.
That could be very good.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be great.
I don't
but-
know who's going to win that one, to be honest. I went with Finn, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think Finn will win, but I mean, it doesn't hurt either guy to lose to the other.
No.
So.
Because they're probably having their match.
It just depends. Yeah, it depends what their plans are for.
So here's
Tampa
one of the
Bay.
stipulations for this match over 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Yeah,
think
they love to go long.
I'm
on
on another group that I'm part of. Our tiebreaker question always is what is like the time of the match specifically, and I have it going like 25 minutes. I think.
Yeah, I can see you going at least 15.
Yeah, it's a
At
6-match
least.
show. I think it's going to go 3 hours. They're going to go 15.
Undisputed Era versus Broserweights.
I said Broserweight was going to win the titles
New
here.
tag team titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because they did
I
sneak-
stand by my prediction that they win the belts, and then like 3 or 4 weeks down the road, Dunn gets more and more sick
Yeah,
of them,
and
and
they
then eventually
turn
turns
on, yeah.
on.
Does
Because
Undisputed Era lose all their belts that night? Adam Cole
no.
versus Ciampa.
No.
Because right now they're at a point where if Adam Cole wins, he is the longest reigning NXT champion of all time. But does he get the blow? Or is this something we're going to build up again until we get to Mania and they're going to go again?
I think maybe even though it's a heel thing, maybe we get Cole and Finn Balor at Mania.
It could happen. My prediction, like I said in the chat, I think that Cole and Dream is going to be the NXT title match at NXT Tampa, and I think
Okay.
Dream will beat him. But it could be Balor. I could see Gargano and Cole running it back.
Yeah, that's
I
one
don't
good
know.
thing. You don't really
That was
know.
a great feud, but I think we've seen enough of Cole and
Rhea Ripley
Gargano.
versus Bianca Belair. I
Rhea's
think-
got to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think-
Unless Charlotte interferes and it becomes a triple threat. I
Yeah.
can see
You
that.
could do that.
Yeah, it's one of those. So the NXT World Champion and Women's Champion, I wouldn't mind either one of those people winning because I think all 4 people in the ring deserve to have a belt.
If Ciampa wins, though, then they kind of have to do Ciampa Cole again at WrestleMania weekend because like Cole would be earned a rematch. I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they even do a thing like if Cole loses, he leaves NXT.
Yeah, it's too soon to give the belt to
And then we got scheduled appearances and unscheduled appearances. I don't think we're going to get Adam Bomb.
Nah,
I could probably.
Adam Bomb's in a little bit of trouble here.
I wrote down Kushida, Killer Cross, Charlotte.
Ooh, you think we get Killer Cross?
In the crowd.
Yes.
In the crowd, like...
You know how they pan around, look,
I
Killer
think
Cross.
Killer Cross,
I think Killer Cross
and Scarlett Bordeaux
is a great call out, but I think he actually will get physical. I think he will attack somebody. I think that's my prediction.
Might attack Keith Lee.
That's a great call. He could.
Ooh, that's a good setup for a match.
Who else did I have?
Who just signed the same time as Killer Cross?
The Rock's daughter comes out.
Oh God,
Timothy Thatcher.
That's it. I don't think
Thatcher. Yeah.
I think Thatcher's going to be UK though.
He's
so
going to be
that's
UK.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right.
I forget who else I picked.
I haven't even done my scorecard.
If you want to play your
either.
scorecard, go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com. You can download the sheet, and or we may have some codes left. So if you want to jump in with us with the digital, send us a message. Now, I'm going to let you guys debate this one real quick because I have to pee real bad. So, John Cena is pretty much already announced for Mania for the most part in the dirt sheets, and so is a rumored match. You can talk about that, but who we're going to get?
Rumored match?
A rumored match where
What's
it's
the rumored
supposed to
match?
be AJ versus
The Undertaker.
Undertaker.
I thought you meant for
it was
John
John Cena.
No. And then Cena's pretty much is kind
He's,
of built.
he's coming back February 28th, so like he's definitely going to set up. I would imagine they're going to start building up
with
something.
who? And I'll let you guys take that one.
I think the smart money is probably King Corbin because it's an easy. Plus, Corbin just beat Kurt Angle, so they can add that into where like Cena comes down and is like, "Oh, you did Kurt dirty" or whatever. So that would be the obvious thing, but I'm hoping it's like
Something
Daniel Bryan, where it'd be
yeah.
a good match.
Yeah.
I don't want Cena to go out there and just have some 5-minute squash.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan does seem like he doesn't really have a big match for Mania that would be perfect.
I could have seen Bryan and Nakamura for the Intercontinental title if Nakamura won and lost the belt. But
Yeah.
like obviously that's not the plan.
Yeah,
So
I don't. What do you do with Braun too? I don't. John Cena versus Goldberg. Like I said, Goldberg.
Okay,
I don't know.
here we go.
John Morrison. He just beat John
Roman
Morrison.
Reigns and The Rock against John Cena and Vin Diesel.
Oh God.
There we go.
maybe next year, but this year
For WrestleMania goes Hollywood again. I hope for that, by the way, that they bring back the movie parody.
I hope so.
Yeah, they were
too.
great.
They were
Those are
so great with the Pulp Fiction one, and then the Steve Austin and
Yeah,
Gladiator.
WWE has
Yeah.
the thing there where they never can
Triple H
strike
and
like
Bray.
lightning twice in a bottle. Like it was good then, so like, if they bring it back now, it'll
And
be shit.
they'll pick really bad movies people don't know, and it's just like, I don't know. John Cena versus
The only two that make sense are Corbin and Bryan. Like
yeah, maybe if it's on SmackDown, it has to be a SmackDown guy, unless some Raw guy comes out, which makes no sense.
unless he comes back on Raw like the week after,
Yeah.
because I guess he's probably not. He's not on.
He's a
either
free
show,
agent, I
so
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Goldberg, John Cena and Goldberg.
And John Cena and the Fiend, like
don't think
I
he's
mean,
gonna
it would
go
make
for the
sense
title.
because the Fiend is on a war path of everyone that never did him dirty, and who
Yeah.
did him more dirty than Cena?
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
You know what I mean? So that would make sense.
That's very true. If you're not going to do Roman at Mania, then and at that
Honestly,
point,
if you
the
told
Fiend
me
have already
I could
beaten
get one or
Goldberg.
the other, I'd rather Fiend Cena than Fiend Roman, probably.
Yeah.
I'd rather that.
But
And then the Fiend can win. John Cena's not going to get hurt by it.
Yeah, because he's probably just gonna go make movies.
That'd be
Yeah.
a great idea.
Cena wins his 17th championship.
but that's also another appeal. Like, hey, Cena might break the record. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
The
nobody,
record that's fake
nobody
anymore.
would want. Yeah, the record that doesn't even really matter.
Yeah.
But
So who do you guys say? Corbin?
We're
Corbin, Fiend?
We're just whatever. We don't have a set one.
Any wild card ones?
before he was gonna
Goldberg,
debut
maybe?
on
Triple H?
SmackDown, there was a lot of rumors that it was going to be an NXT guy. Like I seen the Velveteen Dream got thrown around a lot, but I don't think that's the plan anymore.
R-Truth, he wrestles his childhood dream.
It's childhood hero, yeah.
His childhood hero.
Wasn't Cena R-Truth's hero?
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, our truth's childhood hero, John
Hey,
Cena.
He gets to wrestle his childhood hero at WrestleMania.
Do you guys remember the real life beef those two had?
Yeah, they got to fight in the airport.
Yeah, they got in a fight in
Really?
an airport. Yeah, when R-Truth was in TNA.
I don't remember that.
Ridiculous.
It was when Cena was
It
doing
wasn't
the
like a
rapper
legit
gimmick.
fist
Yeah, it
fight.
was
They,
like
they
a-
were just
yeah.
like a like altercation because Truth start yelling at him in an airport because R-Truth for some reason why legitimately was heated that Cena was doing a rapper gimmick and he thought it was insulting because he's like a real rapper and it's like R-Truth don't take it that seriously, bro.
Yeah, you don't even have a.
You're being a mark right now.
Yeah.
I wish Cena would have said to you, like you're being a mark right now. Stop it.
Do we have any other wacky ones out there that you think possibly?
No, there's
Shorty G.
Matt Riddle. Like what?
maybe like I could still last month throughout there. I could see like Sheamus is doing this whole bully shit. So like maybe Cena sticks up for somebody.
Yeah, but that's like a match.
That won't do nothing for me.
I'd rather
maybe this is the year we finally get Daniel Bryan and Sheamus again at WrestleMania because that was planned
that definitely
forever.
could happen. That definitely could happen.
So here's one thing that I was
John Cena. What's his name? Rowan.
I was kind of looking at that kind of still I don't know. I keep seeing it out there, and I don't believe it. How they did the whole Goldberg and Matt Riddle thing. 2 weeks later, Matt Riddle was at a house show, and he called Goldberg out in ring in a microphone
because he's not listening. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. And WWE did a backstage interview with Riddle,
and he mentioned Brock Lesnar, right?
and the interviewer brought up Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
It's maybe not. It's a slow burn, but I still think it's going to be there.
Apparently, Brock doesn't like him.
Yeah.
If Brock doesn't like him,
it's not going to happen. Doesn't understand. Riddle's in the mind frame still that it's like MMA. In MMA, that works.
I don't think it's Riddle. I think they're legit trying to.
I don't think because Riddle was doing this before he was even in WWE. Yeah.
That's smart.
They aren't.
Riddle's issue is he in MMA. If he was in the UFC and calling out other fighters, eventually that will work because like Dana White would be like, oh, well, he's been calling him out, he's been winning his fights, let's set the fight up.
Yeah.
WWE's not like that. You can't call out people hoping it's going to become a long term. Like you actually have to get along with people for them to fucking work with you.
Yeah, like apparently Brock wants to wrestle the Truth. He really likes Truth. So
there's a way higher chance that we see Brock and Truth for a title than we ever see Brock and Riddle.
Yeah,
for sure.
R-Truth beats Brock Lesnar.
Oh God! Hey, R-Truth
wrestles John Cena at WrestleMania and drops the title to his childhood hero.
No,
and John Cena gets his 17th.
John Cena beats Brock Lesnar, and then R-Truth.
Yeah,
the boyhood dream becomes a reality.
Oh my book!
And then he beats Brock Lesnar.
Would you be upset with that?
No,
I would not. I would fucking love it. I'd cry. I would cry. I would Kofi tears. I would. R-Truth did it.
He would be the second black champion.
His childhood hero.
Even though because for some reason why blacks don't consider Rock black. For whatever reason. He's too half.
I seen black guys in it. That don't count. It's Dad's a black man.
Yeah.
To win Simone in there.
That don't count.
World heavyweight title doesn't count. The big gold doesn't count. Booker.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, no.
Nope. That don't count. They get the people. They argue on the internet.
Kofi Teddy's the first black champion.
It's like black.
If you ignore the other black champions,
it's like Black Panther was the first black superhero movie.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Blade never happened.
Blade
what about Spawn? Fucking Spawn's been out from 97. Goddamn.
I think a lot of people don't know that Spawn is black, and they're like,
honestly, that's true.
I believe that, and they're just like, oh,
he took his mask off. He wasn't black. He was that badly burned. He was a
You can't tell he's a black guy. It's like he was black in the beginning of the movie. It's like, well, I didn't watch the beginning of the movie.
It's crazy when you go.
I turned it on TNT and it was halfway through.
Yeah, when you read the comments on the internet about stuff like that, it's crazy how much people don't know, but they think they know. And that it's the racism and everything. It's like, oh.
So this is the worst.
Half the country.
This is the worst segue.
But part of the United States.
Yeah.
Like it's
speaking
crazy.
Of black superstars, and it's Black History Month. I have my. I told you it wasn't a great segue. And speaking of supernatural and
there you go,
vampires and werewolves.
Now, if Ember came out and bit someone in the neck, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that would make a lot
because
more
she's
sense.
always been this vampire werewolf.
Listen, there's nothing that Ember Moon can do that I wouldn't be upset with. I'm just putting that out
for
there.
sure.
All right, so this is my topic for tonight. Ember Moon. I have a. This is like my wrestler crush. Like everyone's got their crush, right? This is mine.
Mine's Brandy Rhodes.
Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah.
I actually watched Brandy Rhodes wrestle Joey Ryan.
Really?
And she beat him for that DDT intergender
the heavy metalweight title.
The heavy belt, yeah. And
Iron Man heavy metalweight.
She took thumbtacks.
A thumbtack.
Really? Wow.
He slammed her on all in her ass.
Oh God.
Yeah, she took a thumbtack spot and then rolled him up and won. Like she won the belt, but I did not expect her to really take the tacks, and she did. It was awesome. All right, I'm gonna fuck this up. Is it Anderini? Her first name?
Adrienne.
Is Adrienne?
Anderini?
Listen, man.
Adrienne.
Is it?
We know you have a problem with names.
I'm terrible with names. So Adrienne.
Dusty Rhodes
the
was on
name
AEW.
that you pulled though was like, I never would have pulled that name.
But it's a N-E-E-E or E-N-N-E. So I go the E. Like N-E. I drag it out a little bit.
Anderini is what I get on my pizza, baby.
Maybe she pronounces
I get the Anderini and the pepperoni.
You should hear
for
me
the whole
work.
AEW segment. He thought Dusty came back from the
Yeah,
dead.
he got a bicycle.
I'm not used to calling him Dustin.
I got you.
He's been Gold Dust my whole life.
One of the greatest things. I still call him the Natural.
Which when they announce it, well, they call him the Natural. I love that.
One of the greatest things Excalibur did on AEW commentary was when somebody did a bicycle kick.
Yeah,
he got the bicycle.
Bicycle kick.
He going to the pay window, baby.
We get some names at work, and it's just like, can you help me with the pronunciation of your first name? Because I don't want to butcher it. 'Cause I'm terrible.
Like Sarah.
And they're like Sarah. I'm like, there's 4 Q's in there.
It's Zoe.
One I remember.
Zoe.
And it took me a while to get it. The person's name was Emily, but it was spelled MLE.
Yeah, we get stuff like that all day long. Like, people have interesting names.
Don't let
like,
Tony lie to you. He calls the guy and he's like, "Sir, can you please spell your name? Because I'm not getting it." He's like, "It's Joe, J-O-E."
No, it's never that bad.
He's like, "I don't see it.
I can't get it. All right, anyway.
Joey? Hello, Joey?
Joey? I don't.
She's an American professional wrestler currently signed to WWE under the ring name Ember Moon, where she performs now currently on the SmackDown brand. She is currently hurt. I will get into that in a moment.
I wonder if she's still on SmackDown.
She didn't get drafted.
She's technically on SmackDown.
I'm sure they probably put her somewhere, but when she comes back, she can be anywhere.
So she was born October 31st in 1988. She is 31 years old. She's from Garland, Texas. Her build weight is 121 pounds.
Who knows?
And she is married to another professional wrestler named Matthew Palmer.
Don't know.
I'm not familiar with
I
him.
wonder if that's his ring name or his...
That's his real name. I guess he proposed to her in the ring.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she debuted in 2007. So that's just quick facts I wanted to pull up there real fast.
Trained by...
So she...
Booker T.
Yeah. So Moon previously wrestled on independent circuit under the ring name Athena, competing in regular promotions such as Shimmer Shimmer Women Athletes, Women Superstar Uncensored, Inspire Pro Wrestling, and Anarchy Championship Wrestling, for which she is a 3-time ACW American Joshi champion. Prior to her main roster debut, Moon competed in WWE's developmental system in NXT, where she was the NXT champion. All right, so this is some of her early life.
And she beat Asuka for the belt.
No, she didn't beat her.
She didn't beat her.
That's right. Yeah,
she's never beat Asuka.
Yeah, because Asuka went to the main roster.
She handed the belt over to Ember on a technicality. No, she dropped the belt due to injury, and Ember Moon won it. I forget who she beat, but she won.
Baszler, wasn't it?
No.
Or no.
I think it was like a multi-woman.
It was like a 4-woman match.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I think what's her name?
Kairi Sane was
one
in there?
of the Iconics was in it. Not Billy Kay, Peyton Royce. Yeah,
it'll probably be in here. There's a lot. She attended Lakeview Central High School, where she was a tennis and softball player. She participated in the school's chess club and Math E program. So it's giant nerd. That's awesome.
Oh God,
yeah.
I don't like when they're into math though, because that's like.
So
that's like you're a legit geek.
Yeah,
if you're a math geek. It's like
well, she's but also with
I know
math,
she likes
and
Dungeons
she's
and
super
Dragons.
into Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Oh, I don't care what she's. I would have sex. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So during her time in high school, she was really she went through a lot of bullying. She was really picked on.
Really?
So I know there's a certain somebody who's listening who is, and she wants to be a wrestler someday, and she's a big fan of the show. So this is Ember Moon, who literally was picked on every single day by her peers for her interest in video games and professional wrestling. She got tortured for it.
By the way, if you don't have it there, I do have the match where she won the.
Okay, cool. When she was younger, she was introduced by pro wrestling by her grandfather. When she would go visit his house in the summer, they would watch Monday Night Raw's War or SmackDown. Now it kind of jumps into her career here from 2007 to 2012, her early career, and some Anarchy Championship Wrestling. She was like I said, she was introduced by her grandfather, and she started training under Skandar Akbar in 2007. She later trained with Booker T's Pro Wrestling Alliance, now named Reality of Wrestling, in Houston, Texas. She began for the promotion under the ring name Trouble in 2007.
That's stupid.
Here comes trouble.
Yeah.
I bet they said that too.
And then she changed it to Athena when she debuted for Professional Championship Wrestling PCW in November 10, 2007.
I think there was a thing, and it was on YouTube for a while. The production values are pretty good. It was called Traditional Championship Wrestling, and I think she was a part of that too. They had like Nature Boy Paul Lee and a few other people.
It's very possible. She teamed up in some tag teams. She began competing regularly for PCW throughout the 2008 and unsuccessfully challenged for the PCW Tag Team Championships. and then she was still under Athena. She competed for various other Texas promotions, most notably Anarchy Championship Wrestling, based in Austin. And February 2010, she challenged Rachel Summerlin for the ACW American Joshi Championship, but failed to win. Then in May 29th, she defeated Summerlin to win her first championship in a three-way match, also including Lily May. She defended her championship, defeated on June 12th. The following day, she successfully retained her championship against May, but then lost it to Summerlin afterwards on September 19th. So that was her first kind of loss. Then she got it back later on for the second time when she defeated Lady Poison to win the American Joshi Championship for the second time.
I don't know any of these people.
Rachel Summerlin, I think she was also wrestled as Rachel Putski.
Really?
And I think she was like IWA Mid-South and places like that.
Then in June of 2012, she entered the ACW Queen of Queens tournament when she defeated Su Young in the first round,
Okay, there we go.
Christina Von Erie
yeah.
in the semifinals, and Jessica Havoc in the finals to win the
Know all these
tournament.
people, yeah.
She won the Joshi Championship for the third time in January 18th by defeating Su Young. And then vacated the title on the 23rd of August after leaving the company. Then for 2010 to 2015, she did some stuff with Shimmer, and they're out of Illinois.
Shimmer was like the all-girl ROH for the time.
She
I remember their first show. They had a men's battle royal as a dark match. It was all these big name indie guys, and they all wrestled in jeans.
Yeah.
Like it was like we're gonna marginalize men in this thing.
She debuted in Volume 33 on September 11, 2010, teaming with Bonesaw in a losing effort against.
Bonesaw is ready.
Well, Bonesaw was not ready. They lost to Jessica James and Rachel Summerlin.
Rachel Summerlin, I'm gonna get you.
He also lost to Peter Parker in a steel cage match.
And then she lost again in Volume 34, and then also in Volume 36. Then she returned to Shimmer on October 1st, 2011 at 42, defeating Jessica McKay and Mia Yim in a three-way match.
There we go.
She fought Mercedes Martinez in Volume 43, and lost in a double countout defeat and disqualification at 44. And then she defeated in 45 Martinez by pinfall, and then went on to defeat Sassy Stephanie at Volume 47.
I like that Stephanie baby. I can't say her name, but I like her.
And then Ray at Volume 48. So she did a bunch of different work there. She came close to a championship, but unfortunately never won the Shimmer Championship. Women Superstars Uncensored from 2011 2015. She debuted in the WSU Final Chapter on 2011 and losing to Naya, Niya.
No idea.
I'm not sure who that
Unless
is.
it's Nia Jackson.
They
I don't
used
think
to
it
run
is.
a lot in Philly too, WSU, and then they went to Jersey and they do WSU CCW shows.
She entered the J Cup tournament, defeating Kimberly Lee in the first round, but then losing to Brittany Savage in the finals.
Brittany Savage, I kind of remember. Kimberly actually lost her mind and really went into like hardcore PETA animal rights, and that's why she doesn't wrestle anymore.
Isn't she dating somebody now too? Like somebody like NWA Power or something?
I don't know. But that's why she hasn't wrestled like a year now, because she was getting pretty crazy, saying like animals are more important than humans and stuff like that.
That's like Moby. You see Moby got tattooed on both of his arms. He has animal and then rights.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
He showed us.
He's right.
Ultraviolent Affair on February 9th. She failed to win the WSU championship against Jessica Havoc. Just trying to see.
She's Havoc, who was in TNA for a hot spell. Huh?
Yep. And then
She's now in. Well, she's still in TNA, right?
Is she? I don't know.
Who were we talking about?
Jessica Havoc with the gas mask.
I think so.
Yeah, well, she wrestled on the show.
Oh, really?
The Hazel's
okay.
show, yeah. Isn't she with Callahan?
She's with Callahan.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know. Well, how about that? I say I don't watch Impact, so.
No, I mean like in real life.
Like in real life, they're dating.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
She wrestled a little bit for AAW, All American Wrestling. She teamed up with Christina Von Erich in a match, and a few other people, like as like a mixed tag team. She wrestled in AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling.
Yeah, that's in Ohio. So they got a lot of good names.
I think All American is like Chicago, somewhere around there. Too.
Okay.
And then she was in NCW, was a Canadian promotion. It's not saying the name of it though. It just keeps saying NCW.
That's all little stuff.
She was on Shine for a little bit.
She's like a Shimmer kind of offshoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Shimmer and
like,
Shine.
How did Shine have a Shimmer have an offshoot? Shimmer
then-
title belts look very nice.
But then in 2015, she makes her way to NXT. There is some cool fun facts I have about that. She had a lot of tryouts.
Oh, wow.
Took her a couple times. She was not signed right away.
Mm-hmm.
There is some controversy as well from another female superstar saying that she had a pitched idea for pretty much a flame thing where she was like a girl on fire and had gear that was flames. And she accused Ember Moon of stealing her gimmick when she wasn't signed, and then when she got signed, she took it, which is kind of weird because Ember Moon has very stated, I guess also, so I couldn't find the article where she said it, but I think she said a lot of her character was from her actual D&D character sheet.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so there's a little bit of controversy there with...
Liv Morgan and Carmella actually had the same exact argument because Liv Morgan claims that the Staten Island Princess thing, Liv apparently said she pitched that idea, and then Carmella took a ball around with it.
They were in NXT at the same time, and they were the same exact character.
Yeah.
It's funny how Matt Hardy sent in the tape to WCW when he was wrestling his High Voltage, like doing his Omega stuff, and then like a little bit later, High Voltage, the tag team starts up, and he had to change his name to Surge.
Yeah. September 15th, she signed a contract with WWE. This was for the developmental territory of NXT. She made her in-ring debut at an NXT house show on October 10th in a tag team match where she wrestled as Adrian Reese, or her actual real name,
Adrian Reese.
Yeah, Adrian Reese, but they had it spelled differently in her.
Oh, maybe it was Adrian.
Yeah, so they had it spelled Adrien.
Yeah, that's Adrian.
And then they
Exotic
added,
Adrian.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then from October 15th to June 2016 at NXT TakeOver, she had a match where she defeated Peyton Royce during a dark match under her new ring name, Ember Moon. After a series of introductory vignettes, Moon made her television debut at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, defeating Billie Kay. Which, not bad for your debut where you're getting a takeover match.
Yeah, and oh man, did that finish get over? She has her finish is amazing.
Her finish, I still think, men and women, I think she is the best finisher in wrestling.
I always say total eclipse of the heart. What's it really called?
The total eclipse.
Okay.
The eclipse. Is it? Yeah,
I think it's called the eclipse.
Yeah, the eclipse. You're right.
Total eclipse of the heart.
Yeah, she hit that. People were like, what the fuck is
And if you
that?
don't know, she jumps off the top rope and hits you with a stunner.
Yeah, she does a front flip off the top rope and flips over you, catches you, does you a stone cold stunner, and that's her.
Kind of like the Buff Blockbuster, which was the coolest thing Buff Bagwell ever did.
It's fantastic. Throughout the month,
Except for the
Ember
Handsome
Moon
Stranger.
went on a winning streak in both tag team and singles matches until losing the NXT Women's Championship to Asuka at TakeOver Orlando. Oh wait, until losing to NXT
match.
Women's Championship to Asuka. So she was on a winning streak and had like an undefeated streak versus undefeated streak, and then lost. Moon sustained a shoulder injury, being thrown out of the ring by Asuka, and could not compete in the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Chicago, and the match was changed to a triple threat between Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Ruby Riott. Moon then returned on June 21st in an episode of NXT, defeating Peyton Royce. And then on 19th, TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Moon was once again defeated by Asuka, who successfully defended her NXT championship. And Asuka had to vacate her women's championship due to injury. quote-unquote injury call-up. On November 18th, Moon won the vacated Women's Championship in a fatal four-way match against Royce, Nikki Cross, and Kairi Sane.
Kairi.
Yes.
And a lot of people, when that was starting, thought that Kairi was going to win it because
she was hot.
She had just won the Mae Young Classic.
She just won the Mae Young Classic. So Asuka made this surprise appearance and handed the championship to Ember Moon on December 27th episode of NXT. Moon successfully defended her title against Sonya Deville. After the match, Moon was confronted by Kairi Sane, who was then attacked by debuting Shayna Baszler at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Moon retained her championship against Baszler despite suffering a kayfabe arm injury. The following night, she competed in the first Women's Royal Rumble match in the 2018 Royal Rumble.
I actually had her in a Royal Rumble poll that night.
Yeah.
Wow.
She entered at number 23.
She had the arm wrapped up for it. I was like, oh, God.
And she was eliminated by Asuka, who ended up winning. So once again, Asuka gets one over on her. And then in the next Royal Rumble, she eliminated Asuka.
Oh.
And it was like her first like retribution over her, which I hope she comes back
and beats Asuka.
and has a storyline with Asuka, because I want it.
She's got to get over to Raw then.
Yeah.
Asuka's got to go to SmackDown.
I think she's going to come back and go to NXT. That's just my opinion.
I think you might be right.
At NXT TakeOver New Orleans, Moon lost the NXT Women's Championship to Baszler via technical submission in her last NXT match. So NXT TakeOver New Orleans, Baszler had it from there all the way up until recently, where Rhea
she
Ripley
lost it to Kyrie once.
Oh yeah, she did drop it. She'd lost it to Kyrie once and then got it back. Yeah. So her main roster promotion from 2018 till now.
Nothing. I think you can say there's nothing there, probably.
Yeah, there's
she
not
had
much.
some matches, and
She had SummerSlam. The SummerSlam match with Bayley, I'm sure going to get there. I thought that was half of a good match.
Yeah.
I think if they would have given it more time, it would have been really good.
It's not her fault that.
So she
terrible.
On an episode of Raw, immediately after WrestleMania 34, Moon made her official main roster debut, teaming up with NXT Women's Champion Nia Jax to defeat Alexa Bliss and Mickie James.
Wait a minute, what?
Raw Women's Champion.
Raw Women's Champion.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I forgot. I don't even realize I said there. At Money in the Bank, she participated in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but failed to win the briefcase. At the WWE Women's Evolution pay-per-view, she wrestled in a battle royal and was the last participated, eliminated by Nia Jax. That's where she eliminated Ember Asuka.
Okay.
Yeah.
They should do another Evolution. Those are good.
Yeah, they were
good. And it's better now than ever. They have so much more. They can integrate the NXT. It's perfect. 2019 Royal Rumble, Moon competed in the Women's Royal Rumble again, entering at number 6 and then lasting 52 minutes before being eliminated by Alexa Bliss. Lost my thing there. Alexa Bliss, who is now featured on a Bowling for Soup song as well.
Yeah.
During the match, she suffered an elbow injury, reoccurring that she has a problem with, and kept her out of action until she returned at WrestleMania 35 in the Women's Battle Royal, which she was eliminated by Lana.
In other news, Bowling for Soup is still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of 40-year-old fat guys singing pop punk.
It's very, very weird.
When you see the picture, it's like... Ugh.
And they're singing about 20-some-year-old Alexa Bliss. Unless she's 30 or she's still in her 20s.
She gotta be late 20s.
Yeah.
Well, I'm close to being a 40-year-old fat guy. I don't want to hear about this shit.
So during the 2019 Superstar Shakeup, Moon was moved to SmackDown brand, where she completed in her second Money in the Bank ladder match was unsuccessful. Throughout June and July, Moon feuded with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, where they pretty much bullied her, and called her fat and stuff like that. Then she teamed up with Women's Champion Bayley to defeat Rose and Deville, ending the feud. After the match, Bayley picked Moon as her challenger for SummerSlam, which I thought was a decent match, but once again, it could have went on a little longer. Mm-hmm. I had hope there. I was like, holy shit, tonight's the night, and it just didn't happen. Moon lost the match and then started a losing streak, going winless for 5 straight televised matches. Moon would then suffer an ankle injury. She was not either drafted in any polls in 2019. In October, she would appear on November 19th episode of Backstage, where she slated she would be out of action for an indefinite period of time.
What she? I thought she did something else other than
that was an Achilles.
Yeah,
she blew out her Achilles, so they said ankle.
That's a
but
bad
it's
injury.
Achilles.
That's the same thing Xavier Woods has. That's a killer injury. Some people just never come back the same from those.
She's married to professional wrestler Matthew Palmer, and she's a huge fan of comic books, and she's a huge fan of the 1960s Batman television show starring Adam West. She's also cited
Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I would watch that.
She's also cited as saying
Robin,
Eddie
get in the
Guerrero,
chopper.
Victoria, Trish Stratus, Lita, Taka Michinoku, Funaki, Rikishi, Too Cool, The Rock, and Kurt Angle were her influences. Her championship and accomplishments: Moon is a one-time NXT champion, women's champion, Absolute Wrestling, Absolute Intense Wrestling. She's AIW's women's champion 2 times, Anarchy Championship Wrestling. She ACW American Joshi champion 3 times, ACW Television champion 1 time, ACW Queen of Queens tournament winner. She wrestled at Pro Alliance Wrestling. She's PWA's women's champion 1 time. She was in Pro Wrestling Illustrated's ranked 18th of the top 50 wrestlers in 2017. She was on Wrestling Superstars Uncensored and Combat Zone Wrestling. She was the Queen and King of the Ring in 2018 with AR Fox, and then she was WWE NXT Women's Champion.
Matt Palmer looks like Kip Sabian.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he has a Kip Sabian look. So 10 things you may not have known about Ember Moon. So first thing, during her school years, we talked about it. She went through a lot of bowling. Her grandfather introduced her. So there's 2 things you already knew because of me.
Introduced her to wrestling.
We already talked about that one. I'm just trying to find the one here.
Dungeons and Dragons. She likes video games.
Her husband looks like Kip Sabian.
She might be a vampire or a werewolf. We're not sure, and no one is. Because they never scored that up.
I squeaked in there.
With her gimmick, they never really told you, like, okay, she's...
They did have the cool... I like the nickname the Sheenom, but that's all I liked.
But, like you gotta...
They never really explained what exactly she was.
Yeah, like, kind of... Let's figure out what she is here. Is she a vampire? Is she a werewolf?
I think she's a werewolf, because her whole thing is the moon.
Yeah, but, like, they never really... like she's like weird contacts. But I don't know.
I love the contacts.
Just announced for SmackDown for tomorrow. Miz and Morrison are going to be in a tag team match against Roman Reigns and a mystery partner.
John Cena. John Cena Miz, you might get
She actually
that
competed in a women's TLC match before the Women's Revolution. I guess it was like a dark match. She plays D&D, and she also wrote wrestling fan fiction.
Oh, wow. How about that?
Yeah,
That's funny.
I think she talked about it Up, Up, Down, Down, where she talked about that. She tried out for WWE 4 times before being signed. So it took her 4 times of tryouts before it worked out.
Wow.
So
persistence pays off.
So, yeah, so 2 things to pull from that. 1, don't give up, because not everything happens your first time around. And 2, you can get picked on and bullied and treat it like garbage your entire life for being a fan of something. But stick to your roots, stick to what makes you happy, stick to what you're passionate about.
But who would say it to a hot black girl?
Listen,
she wasn't hot. And
I was
going
to say, I don't think she was as attractive in high school, because if she was,
because usually no one picks on the hot girls.
I don't care what hot girls into. Yeah, I don't give a shit. If there was a hot chick is 16, she's like, I still play with Barbies. I'd be like, that's a little weird, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So she revealed that she had an Achilles tendon injury that took place it took place while chasing the 24/7 championship.
Oh no!
So she spoke with Booker T about the injury in an interview, and she said it occurred backstage in September during a brief appearance on SmackDown. I was getting ready to go out to SmackDown, and the next day they're like, hey, Ember, you're in the 24/7 title run because Carmella just won the night before. And I was like, are you sure? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, you sure you need me for that? And people don't want to do it. So she goes, you know what? I had this weird feeling about it, but I wanted to be a team player. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go do it. And she goes, I'm in. So they go through the whole thing, and she told Truth, she's like, Truth, you better run, because I'm going to catch you. And if I catch you, I'm going to tackle you.
She's going to shoot pin our Truth.
Yeah, she
become champion.
So she was like, you better make it, you better legit run, because I'm coming as hard as I possibly can. She goes, if you're going to put me in this, I'm going to make it look good. Which says a lot to her testament as a performer. She's not going to go out there and just bullshit it. So exactly what she said was going to happen. We actually did it. I literally caught them right before we went to the curtain. Like, she was right there. And so she said right before they went to the curtain, she didn't realize how close she was to them. And as coming through the curtain, it shuts, she opens it to go through the curtain. Truth is dropping Carmella and going full speed. I had to hit the brakes like, whoa, crap. I'm going to actually tackle them before I'm supposed to. And she tried to hit the brakes and stop, and she heard boom, and she felt the pop. Yeah. She didn't understand how bad the injury was for a few days, and even flew from San Francisco to Dallas without any swelling. However, once the wrestler realized her foot wasn't working correctly, she began to seek medical help. And then Ember Moon revealed on WWE Backstage, it's unclear how long she'll be out of action, but she is... she's pretty much said that she's not in any rush to come back because she doesn't want it to rupture again, and she's just working really hard. I know she just put a picture up on her Instagram where she's doing like this body wrap thing. Mm-hmm. Like she's rocking abs now. Like she can't run or she can't do anything, but she's working really hard on like her physique, and she's coming back and looking badass. During the Survivor Series, she tweeted out a picture on an airplane saying, I'm Team NXT all day long.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes, go yellow brand, because she technically wasn't drafted, but they're kind of saying she's part of SmackDown. So
they probably just put her somewhere to put her somewhere.
Yeah, so if she comes back, does she come back at NXT? Would that be a big pop? It'd be fun.
Full Sail would love it.
Yeah. So she's
why not?
She's personally my favorite female wrestler, and I realize as I'm sitting here talking that I should have probably wore her shirt tonight.
That would have been a good idea.
I think I'm going to go up and change when we do the photos. I'm wearing right now my main event shirt, but I think when I go take my photo,
you could have.
No, I'm wearing it. Main event, I'm wearing your shirt, but I'm going to go up and change and take the picture
right now.
and take my picture with the Ember Moon shirt.
I don't have that.
I don't like the Ember Moon shirt.
No, it's very bland.
It looks like the Twilight poster.
Oh, is it just
it's
the
an eclipse?
Yeah,
it's an eclipse.
I was like, let me get that. I'm like, oh, that's lame because I support her, but it's a lame shirt.
Yeah, it is not a good shirt. Just her silhouette, her eyes underneath the thing. Perfect.
They made another one with like her name in a cool font.
There's a really cool Slam Crate one. So that Slam Crate we order, one of the first boxes was an Ember Moon one, and she's like howling up at the moon, and it looks fucking awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks so cool. She's my personal probably favorite female wrestler.
She's been out.
I love her look. I love her personality. I love that she's into video games. Like if you watch her on Up, Up, Down, Down, she's super entertaining. She seems like she's super down to earth. She's so tiny. She's little. She has the best finisher, and I love her entrance music. I think the entrance music is badass.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now, but it is good.
I don't know who sings it, but it's one of those ones they did a live band
Probably
of
just
it.
one of them. Oh yeah, I remember that the one time.
The
That
one
was pretty
NXT
cool. Yeah,
did a live band. It was fantastic. So I'm definitely.
That's another thing on NXT this week. This weekend, Poppy is going to
Poppy
be doing
is back,
a
baby.
live.
If she keeps doing the Io Shirai thing, it's fantastic.
but Io ain't wrestling.
Io's hurt.
Poppy is going on tour with Deftones in the summer.
Oh God!
They're
Wow.
opening for them. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. But yeah, so I'm really excited for her to come back. I really do hope they use her though, because I think she's super good.
Near the end, but before she got hurt, they weren't doing anything.
They moved her to Raw.
And Gojira, by the way.
They moved her to Raw, and
that's
when
right.
they moved to the Raw, it was at the same time where Ronda was on her tear. So there was no chance anyone was going to move to the top of that ladder because it was Ronda's.
Well, at least use her a little.
Yeah, that's why I think if she comes back and goes to NXT, I'll be more I'd be happier because she'll get more love.
Yeah, for sure.
And more action.
You know, NXT does have a lot of girls.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't use a lot of them.
So who's taking next week?
I don't know.
Anybody? Tyler?
I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, because I'll
Do you have an idea who you're doing?
I'll be doing the other
I
one.
don't yet, but I will figure it out in the next couple days.
All right. Do you have an idea who you want to do?
I don't know, not yet.
No.
Virgil.
Oh my God! One of you do Virgil. That'd be fucking.
Soul Train Jones.
Mike
Mike
2000
Jones.
From 2000 to 2017,
He's
he
at the
lived in
mall.
the Fractal
Yeah.
Mall.
And would sell NWO merchandise he'd buy in Nirvana's closet.
And he would tell everyone that the $1 Million Man was going to be there the next day.
He's coming.
He's coming. He's coming.
Yeah, $1 Million Man and Virgil.
I mean, Booker T would be a good one. But
I feel like Booker's too obvious, so I don't want to do Booker.
I thought Bearcat was fantastic. That was a cool topic, and I got a lot of good feedback. So I definitely want to give you credit.
But see, Brian's good at doing the topics. Like I suck at doing these.
And Booker T's
But I feel bad that he's doing them every week, so we got to chip in.
I thought that a good one to do, and if somebody has to pass, I might wind up doing it this month. It would be Too Cold Scorpio.
Oh yeah, Too Cold
Oh,
Scorpio.
that's cool. He's a good wrestler.
I loved Too Cold Scorpio when I was a kid.
Put it on deck, and if maybe we'll find a way to maybe squeeze it in. I think that's another good one that people can know about.
The best when they play that stupid promo and like,
oh, Flash, you are so
funky.
The kids are playing basketball because they didn't go to
I just
school.
watched that, yeah.
And Too Cold Scorpio goes up and like, Too Cold, what are you doing?
They shoot. I watched this the other day. They shoot the basketball and it lands in his limo.
Yeah.
And he comes out of the limo and he jumps over the kids and there's really bad camera cuts and he dunks the basketball and then these singers come out and they start singing the Too Cold Scorpio song and
they
everybody
do the
just
Too
starts
Cold
dancing.
Strutter one and he's like, this is all we gotta do.
And that's how you do the Scar or the Michael dance.
Yeah, it was like it makes no sense at all. But it's cool to watch.
Yeah.
So Too Cold is I love Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah, 450 baby.
What do you got to plug?
We already did PPW and Backbreakers. Yeah, so PPW at the Holy Family Academy in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Yeah, and then if you want to go to another show, you live up that way in Mayfield, PA, which is right outside of Scranton, you can go see Backbreakers.
Cool.
So 2 good wrestling shows. I'm sure there's more, but that's in the area.
Yeah. And you're doing next week's topic on Not Cool in High School.
Yeah.
You're doing Red Sonja.
Yeah.
So if you're excited and you want to learn about Red Sonja, go check that one out. We just did the last one that was...
I like Red Cyclone.
Yeah.
Red Cyclone.
That's my thing.
We just did a topic of
about.
Colts on Not Cool in High School. We did Colts, so go check that
Comic
one out.
character.
That one did really well.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was like, oh, call time character. I was like, you know what, this is interesting.
Yeah, you did a good job. I love it. I think the topics are fun. And it's a good way for people to learn about stuff. Brian, what do you got?
Murder by Dude will be coming back shortly. I don't know exactly when.
No, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, you went that one.
I don't know what this one is.
Stop it.
Never mind. Because it's probably more. They're more
Laugh
bend
track.
Yeah, I think that these are all bend buttons. I thought that was applause. That's an air horn. Oh, here you go. Well, we'll turn it down a little bit. Murder My Dude's back.
I hate air horns. We'll be covering some stuff soon, but while the back catalog is still there, we actually did a Cult episode way back when.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
I know I forget what exactly that. Then we did Jonestown. I think we did the Branch Davidians in Waco. Yeah, we did Branch Davidians. I think we did a few other ones.
Yeah.
We'll be back making some new ones very, very shortly.
And there are 2 wrestling episodes if you want to check out Murder My Dude or Wrestling.
One is way back, and I wish we had a do-over. It was like our 3rd episode, and we covered
definitely redo it.
Chris Benoit, Bruiser Brody, and some of the bigger ones. And
maybe we could do a collaboration episode.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we also did, over 4th of July weekend last year, we did Independence Day, independent wrestling. We covered Rock and Rebel, which Andy knows, he's been on cards with him. And we did a guy who was a trainee in Florida who wound up killing his stepmom.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was right when I started doing this show, too. That was right around the same time.
So go check out Murder My Dude. Coming back. I'm happy about it. Tyler?
All Things Wrestling on Facebook and houseofglory.net, I believe it is.
Cool.
That's it.
House of Glory is doing cool stuff, man, and a lot of that roster is coming down to PPW, so
they are.
it's doing really good.
And they're all killing it, too. Rembrandt, Main Event, Charles Mason, all of them.
Yeah, they're doing it. When you come out of House of Glory, you are ready. You're polished.
It's Amazing Red for you, man.
Yeah, Amazing Red is that's not just a nickname. That guy is amazing.
If you were a female and you could have sex with one wrestler, who would it be?
Yeah.
Amazing Red,
for sure.
100%. I want Amazing Red.
If you were a male and could have sex with one wrestler, Amazing Red.
The answer is obviously Kota Ibushi for that. So I don't know what they're thinking.
I would still love to see Amazing Red versus Facade. I think that'd be a fantastic match.
Will probably happen someday.
Yeah. All right, that'll wrap it up for Turn Out Tag Podcast.
I got to see. Sorry,
that's all right.
I got to see Red way back when 2001. It was him and the SATs against.
Oh, remember them?
Against.
Oh my God,
Maximo. The Maximos. Remember these guys against Divine Storm.
Oh, and Devin Storm and
no, not Devin Storm. Chris Divine and Quiet Storm.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And
go back early 2000s.
This is about to go. And fun athletic guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Who are we talking
Spell
about?
it out. It was Rob Feinstein.
Fun, athletic guy.
Oh.
And he acted...
overly
flamboyant.
the top flamboyant, yeah. And it was wound up being a promoter who...
got busted for some...
Children stuff.
Pretend you said 18.
Yeah, it usually
you know
happens.
The Dateline NBC thing? It was before that was a big thing, and he... came to the door, thought it was a 16-year-old boy, and then ran away.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yep.
He could have been on Have a Seat. I see him at a con. He was actually at Wizard World. He was selling wrestling.
He was at that ECW house show we were at. We were both went to, like, separately.
Here's the thing.
Like, decades before we knew each other.
Here's the thing, children who are also wrestling fans, and if you listen to this show, sometimes when your favorite wrestler messages you on the internet, be careful, because
every time
could be.
No reason why
they can be creepy.
Yeah, even indie guys, you got to watch it. Like,
be careful. Listen, there's
not every indie guy is as nice as Andy. over here.
There's some scumbags out there.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Now next week we'll have our sign up, and then we can all point to it.
RF video.
Yeah, we can point to it like WrestleMania.
So how'd you get started in the wrestling business?
Yeah, well.
How big is Batista's dick?
9 inches.
Alrighty, that'll do it. Here is some no rain checks.